for Willie Green in New Orleans.
Yeah, they're having their issues, but they've got talent, and they're trying to figure things out with Zion, and he's trying to figure things out. But you just look at the pieces on that New Orleans team. Certainly, there are a lot of good things there that they are trying to put together.
We've been talking a lot about Tyrese Halliburton. Another great game last night. Pacers go into Philadelphia, beat the 76ers 132-126. If that guy's not an all-star, then I don't understand what an all-star should be. Halliburton had 33 points, 15 assists, 7 rebounds. He hit 7 of 12 from 3. He was a plus 19, and they offset another huge game from Joel Embiid, who went for 39, 12, and 6.
God forbid you say he's better than Ja. Dude is...
Cue Jarvo's tweets.
I mean, I don't know.
Texts.
The dude's been one of the probably 3 or 4 best players in the league this year.
Yeah, he's been absolutely outstanding. So again, the Grizzlies off until Saturday when they play at San Antonio. College football playoff rankings came out yesterday, and I don't think it was a big surprise that Georgia jumped Ohio State. They are now the new number 1 team in the country. They're the number 1 team in the polls, but now more importantly, number 1 in the college football rankings.
Yeah, again, with the top 10 win over Ole Miss in extremely convincing fashion, plus Missouri dismantling Tennessee, their 2 best wins these last 2 weeks are better than Ohio State's best wins. It was that Ohio State had the better wins. Now Georgia has the better wins, thanks to Missouri and Ole Miss, and to do it in the fashion they did against Ole Miss. Certainly no surprise whatsoever that they would move into that number 1 spot. There is some weird. There's some weird things like down the poll that I don't like. The Penn State thing is funny to me because Penn State's basically played 2 good teams. They lost to both of them, but yet they sit there at number 12.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And then you go, oh well, but they do have a win over a ranked team. They got a win over number 16 Iowa. That's true, but Iowa's only number 16 because they haven't played anybody. Like they have no wins to speak of whatsoever. They just happen to play in that side of the Big Ten. They don't have to play anybody, so they've racked up some wins in ugly fashion, and so they get to hang around at number 16, which makes Penn State look like they've got a quality win. But those teams aren't good.
It's the residual effects of having 2 great teams in the conference that they assume that everybody else is pretty good, and it's a bad assumption. It's 2 incredibly well put together teams, a pretty decent team in Penn State, and then Iowa can play some defense. They can't outscore you, and everybody else is horrible. It's a horrible year in the Big Ten other than they're top heavy. And that's fine because maybe they'll get a national champion out of it. But you're right. I didn't understand that when I saw Penn State. Just too much love there because of, again, the effects of having Michigan and Ohio State. By the way, Ohio State is 2, Michigan 3, Florida State 4. So your same top 4 just in a different order. And then Washington on the outside looking in at number 5.
Iowa's best win, I guess, is Rutgers?
Man.
Wisconsin. They've beaten Utah State. I guess Iowa State would probably be their best win. I don't know.
I think it would be Iowa State.
They've beaten Utah State, Iowa State, Western Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, Wisconsin, Northwestern, and Rutgers. Lost to Minnesota, got killed by Penn State. And that's your number 16 team.
It seems like as the weeks go by and once they start putting together the rankings for the college football playoff, the later they get, the more they are reluctant to drop teams out. They just kind of shuffle them down. You have teams that probably won't drop out. Tennessee now at 7-3 are 18th. Are they going to drop out once they lose to Georgia?
I don't know.
Lose to Georgia.
Tennessee has done nothing to be worthy of the 18th spot in the ranking. Their best win is, I guess, Kentucky, with a loss to Florida, blowout losses to Alabama and Missouri. Like, what makes them a top 20 team? If you're so sold on resume, What makes Tennessee a top 20 team based on their resume?
Again, they're in a big conference. They were there at the beginning. They're reluctant to drop them out. If you look at the rankings that came out last night, there is only one school that's outside a Power 5 conference other than Notre Dame, which is an independent. Notre Dame has 3 losses, and that's Tulane, barely in there at 24. They are also reluctant to put a James Madison in there, reluctant to put an undefeated Liberty in there.
James Madison's not even eligible.
Oh, that's right. They're not eligible, but I don't even know if they'd put him in if they were. Maybe they would. But Liberty is undefeated, and they're not going to throw them in there because of the schedule they played. But we just talked about some of the teams that Iowa's played. That Big Ten is bad other than Ohio State and Michigan. But again, it's not going to be a factor as far as the playoff is concerned, but it could be a factor as far as the New Year's 6 games are concerned. By the way, it is Oregon right behind Washington, just like last week, then Texas, then Alabama. But Missouri moves into the 9th spot. Missouri is number 9. We talked about going into this season, maybe Eli Drinkwitz would be in trouble. Louisville is 10. I still don't think they're that good, but they're number 10. They only have the 1 loss. Ole Miss is 13th, despite the blowout loss at Georgia. LSU's 15th. We mentioned Tennessee's 18th, and Tulane for the American is 24th. But, wow, Mizzou 9th. The interesting part, though, is, again, if one of those teams loses, and we know Ohio State or Michigan, one of the two will lose because they play each other. And then, subsequently, if Washington keeps winning, they jump into that spot. And then you're going to have Georgia, the Big Ten winner, Florida State, and Washington or Oregon. And again, more than likely, they have a collision course coming up where they will meet again in the Pac-12 championship. But waiting in the wings, Texas, Alabama. Again, Alabama's blemish is that they lost to Texas. So they continue to be right behind Texas, although Bama right now playing as well as anybody.
Yeah, and if Alabama were to win the SEC championship game, that's when it could get interesting with what happens to Georgia, especially if you end up with undefeated Florida State. Say you ended up with an undefeated Florida State, undefeated Washington, undefeated Big Ten champion, and then Alabama wins the SEC championship game. How do they sort that out would be an interesting decision.
I'm rooting for it. I want chaos. So right now, you would say, Eli, here we are on November 15th, that the only teams still in the race for a playoff spot are the top 8. Correct? Certainly not going to be Mizzou.
Yeah,
Right? Bama, Texas, Oregon, Washington, Florida State, Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia, going from 8 to 1.
Yeah.
There's nobody else on the outside. So there you go. There's where we stand after last night's latest college football playoff rankings. We're going to talk some college hoops a little bit later on in the hour, but when we come back, we're going to be joined by Richard Mulrooney. He's the head coach of the University of Memphis men's soccer team, and they have made the NCAA tournament for a second straight year. They will play tomorrow. They will host a nationally ranked team from SIUE, which happens to be Eli Savoy's alma mater. We'll talk to Richard about that. I want to tell you folks about Corky's.
I'm a former PA announcer for the SIUE soccer team.
Are you serious? I didn't think you had anything to do with soccer.
My ties go very deep with that SIUE soccer team.
No, that's
I can tell
something.
you absolutely zero about the current team.
Well, I can tell you they're undefeated. They are 16-0-3, and they're the nationally ranked team, but they're playing at Memphis. But we'll talk more to Richard or with Richard about that. How about that? Eli Savoy, Mr. Soccer, the PA announcer for SIUE. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue is a great option if you're going to the soccer game. You want to bring some food along, do a little tailgating or football this weekend. Friday night high school football playoffs. The Tigers game on Saturday as they host SMU. Bring along Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. You'll thank me. Now, if you just want to head there on over there for lunch or for dinner, yeah, that's an option every single day. They're open 7 days a week. Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville. They're out in Cordova, Germantown Parkway, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. They've also specialized in catering ever since they got into the barbecue business 40 years ago. So you have an event coming up, you want it catered, just call Corky's. They'll start you out as low as $8.99 per person. Check out their lunch specials every single day. Party packs start at just $7.49. The Q, the ribs, the barbecue nachos, the wings are terrific. Cheese and sausage plates, and then if you want to go outside the barbecue family, the tamales, the burgers, amazing desserts, all kinds of great options and combination meals as well at Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Pick up a Corky's gift card while you're there. It's a great stocking stuffer for Christmas. Reserve your private party room today at either the Cordova or the Olive Branch locations. For lunch, for dinner, anytime is a good time for Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
It's time for the holidays.
Blah, humbug.
What, you're not all excited for the turkey and dressing and cranberry sauce?
The cooking, the cleaning, the relatives.
Well, you got people coming in from out of town?
Hi, so many people.
It'll be fun.
All I want to do is go to Central Barbecue.
That's all you ever want to do.
Alone.
Come on, it's the holidays.
Just sitting there in a booth all by myself, enjoying Central Barbecue, no family, being all festive.
Well, you enjoy your own private Central Barbecue holiday.
That is all I ask.
Hey fellas, Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and this year it happened on October 17th. I had my first gentleman ask me what he should get his special lady for Christmas, and my answer was this: get her something she will enjoy and get her something she will absolutely love. Think about her likes and her dislikes. You might even ask her what she wants. Then, come let us show you the finest, most beautiful jewelry in Memphis. This will be our 38th Christmas, and for many of our customers, they've been with us for every one of those 38 years. They come looking for beautiful gifts, fine jewelry that makes a lady's eyes sparkle, but they also know that they will receive quality and service that is unsurpassed in Memphis. And at Russell Brothers, you can play St. Nick knowing that if you don't make the right choice, our money-back guarantee will allow her the ability to exchange her gift for one that she really does love, or she gets your money back. For 5 decades, we've helped thousands of Santas. We'd love to help you. Russell Brothers Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo, and if you have not been to that brewery right on the river just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Experience the taste of Italy at Little Italy's newest location in East Memphis at 6300 Poplar. Little Italy has great Italian food for all your friends and family, and it's all your favorite dishes from lasagna to rigatoni vodka, Alfredo, even lobster ravioli. Try East Memphis Little Italy's very generous calzone, hot from the oven and stuffed with your choice of meats and perfectly melted cheeses. To celebrate East Memphis Little Italy's new location in East Memphis, purchase any 18-inch pizza or any entree and get a complimentary dessert. Either a free mini cannoli or a free slice of New York cheesecake. East Memphis Little Italy wants to spoil you with a piece of Italy you can feel, taste, see, and enjoy, and eat. East Memphis Little Italy, 6300 Poplar, hidden in back at the corner of Poplar and Massey. East Memphis Little Italy brings Italy to you.
Memphis music legends, the Bar-Kays, will be at this year's AutoZone Liberty Bowl, and you'll want to be there too. The Bar-Kays will be performing the music that made Memphis at the President's Gala on December 28th at the Peabody, and at halftime of the 65th AutoZone Liberty Bowl game on December 29th.
Everybody say, so big up.
Get your tickets today by calling the AutoZone Liberty Bowl at 795-7700. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. MPD is wrapping up an accident over here at Thomas and Whitney. It's still slow in Haywood County on the interstate I-40 east and west at mile marker 60. That's in Brownsville on a pretty bad accident. Traffic's really busy now up to South Haven on 55 going northbound, headed up through South Memphis. Hey, get rid of that old junk car by calling Memphis for junk cars. That number is 901-258-8999. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:30 the time, hour number one of the program. Busy show. A lot of great guests lined up for you, and that includes our next guest, our first guest of the day. It's Richard Mulrooney. He's the head coach of the University of Memphis men's soccer team. Now, what's interesting is we have our 5 favorite things topic today. 5 favorite college or pro athletes born in Memphis or the metropolitan Memphis area. Richard Mulrooney may be on some lists. For those who don't know, this guy was a dynamic soccer player out of Memphis who went to Creighton, was an NCAA All-American, was the 3rd overall pick in the 1999 MLS draft. He played professionally in the MLS for years. He played for the U.S. national team as well. And unbelievably, he's been the head coach now since 2000. When I saw this, since 2014, it blew my mind. And what a job he's doing with the University of Memphis men's soccer team. Without further ado, the head coach, Richard Mulrooney, joins us now. You can follow him on Twitter at RP Mulrooney. Coach, I can't believe it. When I looked that up, I saw 2014. It's amazing how time flies. I hope you're doing well.
Greg, I'm doing great. First off, I appreciate you having me on. And, man, it sort of makes me feel old saying all that stuff. And saying that, I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's crazy to think I've been at the University of Memphis that long. But when things are going well, it goes fast, and it's crazy to think it's been 10 years. But at the same time, I'm hoping that I'm there for another 20 or 30, to be honest with you.
Second straight year in the NCAA tournament. You got your taste last year. How does this year's team compare to last year's?
Very similar. Obviously, you add experience to that. We played St. Louis last year, lost in overtime, and then I had a lot of guys returning from that. So it gave that taste of experience last year, knowing that, you know what, we're good enough to be in this tournament, and we can compete. And then this year, obviously, getting a home game with that, it's a good feeling. But we've got a tough test in SIUE, that's for sure.
What kind of tell us a little bit about this year's team, what kind of team and what kind of season it's been?
Yeah, no, it's an all-around team. Like I said, we don't rely just on offense. They're not just a defensive team. I mean, it's an all-around. We've got guys that can score goals. We have a midfield that can play both sides of the ball, and defensively we're sound. I think the most important thing, too, is the culture of the team's great. It's a team that like polices itself in the locker room. They do the right things. We haven't had really any issues off the field this year. They're focused on it, while at the same time, obviously getting their schoolwork done. I don't have things on my desk saying he's skipping class or this or that. So it's really a team that focuses on the field and gets the job done. And it's been a joy to coach them. And like I said, they've earned this opportunity. It's nothing from what my coaching staff has done. They've gone out and competed and found ways to get results against really good teams and got rewarded with an NCAA bid this year.
Every sport with the coach, they have their game plan, their strategy. They look at the opponent, they figure it out, and they go ahead and they deal with their players and they learn what they want to run, and they go out there and they try to run that to the best of their ability. It seems like in soccer that it could change as the game is played by what's happening in the game. You don't see that often in football. They're not going to change the way they play. If they're a hurry-up offense, they're going to play fast. They're never going to slow down, maybe in the final moments to run out the clock. But in soccer, depending on what happens, Richard, does it change a little bit of what you want to do? For example, if you get a couple of goal lead, do you pull back? How does that work in your in-game strategy?
Yeah, no, the tactics can change during the game for sure. Obviously, we have a game plan going into it, but let's just say on best case scenario, we go up 2 goals. Well, the other team knows that whether you lose by 3, 2, whatever it is, you might as well push numbers forward. So if they end up going with 3 or 4 forwards, just knowing that it's a high risk, high reward, I've got to put my team in a situation where we can defend that. Now, on the flip side of that is, knowing that they're pushing numbers up, I've got to make sure I've got guys on the other end that on the counterattack can punish them for that. And then on the opposite side, if we go down, nothing to lose. Like I said, if we're down by 1 and they score another one, so be it. At the end of the game, losing. So you obviously want to push numbers up. So it works both ways. But yes, there's that chess match during the game that happens, and that's not to say if the score is 0-0 and just my team isn't creating, we're sort of stuck in our defensive end. Adding another forward up top or a midfielder to help break that pressure. You've got to notice those things, and my staff and myself, I think we do a pretty good job of in-game adjustments with that.
Your leading goal scorer, I'm not going to try and say the name because I'm sure I'm going to butcher it in some way, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll let you say the name, but tell us about him because, boy, had an incredible year.
Yeah, no, Lineker up top's been great. He has been. I mean, you look at all the teams in it, they usually have a player up top that's been able to finish some opportunities, and, he's done that for us. I think he leads the country in game-winning goals, but at the same time, he's that ultimate teammate. The guys respect him. He's not cocky with that. He enjoys being out there. He sets the example. He's one of our 2 co-captains. So, while he's a great soccer player, he's an even better person. And I think that goes far in the locker room. Everybody's equal on this team. As I told the guys, when we win as a team. When we lose as a team. And he's no different than that. And he'll be the first to raise his hand and say, you know what, I've got to do better. Or, when he scores the goals, he'll be the first to come celebrate with the guys on the sideline. So we're fortunate to have him up top. And like I said, he scored some really good goals, and that's not to say too he's added some assists, and he breaks pressure for us. So he's a joy to have on the team. He's a great mixture with the guys on the field. But for us, he's just one of the 28 guys, and he would have it no different.
Did you expect to host a game in the tournament?
We knew there was a possibility. Obviously, there's sort of a calculation, the RPI, and it sort of showed that we're starting to move up there, and we could hold our own. Was I surprised? Maybe a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not blown away by it because I think our work of our schedule it rewarded us.
Yes.
We played a bunch of top 25 teams, got a win at Missouri State, the top 10 team. Lost a couple other top 25 games that were tight, but at the end of the day, I think we got rewarded for our work, and we're happy to be hosting and looking forward to having SIUV here.
Looking just up and down your roster, you've got Brazil, Spain, Australia, Denmark. What's it like recruiting? Because obviously in soccer there is a lot of international players that you're looking for. Now some are maybe playing high school ball over here or whatever, but what is it like recruiting when you're literally trying to, I guess, scour the world for players?
Yeah, it's a challenge, and obviously we're not the only school that has the international, so people are going after different kids in different spots. But you just you sort of learn what your pipeline is. We've got a couple kids from Cyprus, as you mentioned. We've got a kid from Australia. You just learn. You meet contacts and you build a relationship with them. You sort of learn what type of players that they have in their program and what level it is, and you sort of go with it. And while we've hit on some, we've missed on others. But at the same time, I think we've done a good job of learning you know what, this pipeline from this place produces these types of players. This is what we're looking for, and that's what we go for. So it's a process, but at the same time, it's, we've also got, if I'm not mistaken, 2 kids from here in Memphis, so it's, whether you're in our backyard or you're out from California. I think we have one from Panama City, or we have one from, like I said, Australia. We do a good job of trying to find what's the best fit here, but at the same time, it's a process, and you don't want to miss, or else you obviously don't get to where we're at right now.
Yeah, your mention of the Memphis kids leads me to this question. You came up through this system. My son played in the system here. A lot of kids' sons and daughters have played in the system. What do you think about the talent in Memphis that's being produced with so many soccer players?
Yeah, no, it's every year there's a few more kids on my desk of having to make decisions of, that's a good fit for here, or maybe they need to go junior college, or, maybe somebody else grabs them from me before I'm able to get them here. So I'm very happy with what Memphis is producing here. I think the club system's done a good job. But at the end of the day, as I'll always tell parents, do what's best for your child. Some kids send them away to MLS academies, which, if that's what's the best fit for them, awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, if you feel as though your kid's not being seen or whatever, talk to your club coach. Talk to your club. Figure out, what tournaments you need to be at, and so your kids can be seen. But at the end of the day, do what's best for your family with that, because I truly believe that you can prosper here. I think, I'm not the only example of that, and there's still kids each and every year that have those opportunities. So I'm happy with the pipeline that we've got going here, and I think it's helping us, and not only us. There's other colleges around the country that are getting these kids as well.
SIUE is my alma mater. They have traditionally...
We won't hold it against them, Richard.
They have traditionally had a good men's soccer program, but what's the scouting report on this year's team?
First off, I knew about the year that they were having. We get drawn with them the other day, and it's just like, all right, let's watch some video. Let's see what games that they lost. Well, they haven't lost. They're unbeaten. So first thing for me is the culture that they've got is a strong mentality. That it's a never say die attitude. That they've got quality, because I don't care if you're playing Little League baseball, college soccer, college football, pro, whatever it is. If you're unbeaten, you've got a squad on your hand, and it's not just a team that can attack and defend. It's a strong squad that Coach Kale's put together. So we've got to figure out a way to break them down. They're solid overall. It's going to be a really good matchup. I feel like it's very similar to our team, that they all around, there's no weaknesses on the field. They find ways to score goals. And they're just tough to play against. After watching video on them, they're not scared to get in tackles. As we mentioned with tactics, they know exactly how they want to play, and they can break you down in that way. It's just, and I guess the resiliency as well, in that they've had games this year that they've been down and have tied it up late, or, have found ways to grind out wins, win their conference tournament when they've got the X on their back. They've got a culture right now that their confidence is high. And it should be. When you don't lose, you're flying high with that. But at the same time, we've got to make sure that we go out, compete with them on every ball, and know that, we're a pretty good team too, and we're on our home ground, but we respect what SIUE's done and need to make sure we show up on Thursday night and compete with them.
7 o'clock, as Coach said, Thursday night, so tomorrow night over at South Campus at the soccer complex. The women playing there in the NCAA tournament in their opener beat LSU and had a record crowd. Hopefully that will be the case again tomorrow night for you guys, Coach, because obviously the team plays off of that home advantage.
Absolutely. The guys have earned this opportunity to have more and more people come out and watch them. They're a joy to watch. Like I said, I just sit back. I sort of, it's not like I'm pulling strings. I set up an 11, make some changes during the game, but at the end of the day, I sit back and enjoy watching them too, about the style that we're playing, and I think people would really come out and enjoy what they see with this. They have a team that fights, who can score. And when I say fights, obviously in the right way, but at the end of the day, it's not a boring style by any means. And the way SIUE plays, it's probably going to be a nice back and forth game that I think people would enjoy their Thursday night at 7 o'clock watching us play an NCAA game.
Well, first of all, congratulations on the great regular season, the run into the NCAA tournament. I want to wish you nothing but the best. I want to thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Greg. I really appreciate the time on this, and I got to ask you first. Who are you cheering for? This is your alum that you're talking about. SIU. You got Memphis or us on Thursday?
I'm gonna be neutral. I'm gonna be neutral in this one.
Fair enough. You can be Switzerland.
He's going Switzerland.
I'm an adopted Memphian now, so it's a tough one. It's a tough call for me to make.
Did you? By the way, in your international career, did you ever go up against Switzerland?
No, I never played against them. They had a player that came over to the MLS that we played against or whatever, but no, never got to go to Switzerland, and I would have probably tried to ski the Alps at the time, and that would have been a no-no. So it's probably best I never went over there in the first place, because I probably would have tried to do a little skiing on the side.
Yeah, I brought that up wondering if the Swiss are like, they're neutral even playing in the game. It's like, if we don't win, that's fine. As long as it's a tie, everybody wins. He is Richard Mulroney. He's the head coach of the University of Memphis men's soccer team. You can follow him on Twitter at RP Mulroney. Coach, thanks again. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it.
Take care. The Swiss. You're going neutral. You're not going neutral.
Well, let's be honest. I couldn't. He just said the coach's name. I couldn't tell you one thing about SIUE soccer program. It's not the same coach when I was there. Ed Hunnicky is no longer the coach.
Well, at least you knew the old coach.
I was the PA announcer for the team. I announced every game.
That's pretty. I am shocked that you did that. But anyway,
I was the PA announcer for men's and women's soccer.
Oh, they paid you? Did you say paid announcer or PA announcer?
PA announcer.
Did they pay you, or was that a school thing?
No, they paid me for that.
I didn't know if you get
I
like
was not
credits.
doing that for free.
I didn't know if you got credits or something.
No, yes, I got credit. They were dollar signs.
That's beer money.
I was not.
That's good beer money right there.
I wasn't sitting out there for soccer matches for free. That's for darn sure. And wake me up and announce a corner kick once in a while. That's all I had to do. I mean, you don't have to worry about goals. There was very few of those, so it is what it was. I was announcing track and field. I was doing everything out there.
Oh my gosh!
At old Ralph Cordy Stadium there on the beautiful campus of SIU Edwardsville.
I remember for the campus radio station when they assigned me to go cover track and field. I said, I'm not doing that. I don't know why. I mean, I'm just a punk kid in a fraternity, trying to get into the broadcasting, and I'm turning down assignments.
PA announcing for a track meet, and I did some big, huge ones because we had a very nice track. They hosted Olympic trials, things like that.
Oh, wow.
PA announcing for track is the most ridiculous thing in history.
There's 30 things going on at once.
You have no idea. You just got to have somebody there telling you talk about that thing over there. You're like, what's going on? I don't know what the hell's happening over there. But now that is crazy. But soccer, much easier. Just sit there and wait for the 4 times a game you got to speak.
Have a sandwich.
Yeah, lots of sandwiches. Just trying. The only goal there, stay awake. This side of the program is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at the corner of White Station and Quince. Go by and see them for the Big Green Egg and all the Big Green Egg accessories as well. I'm telling you that Thanksgiving turkey, that's something special off that Big Green Egg, and you still got time to go over to the East Coast East Memphis Ace Hardware and get that Big Green Egg in all of the different sizes. They've got it for you. They're a platinum dealer, plus all of the other accessories, as I mentioned, all the supplies, all of that stuff. You can get it to where I've got my Big Green Egg. Mine comes, you can get it in a table, you can get it by yourself, all of those things. Plus, of course, so much more for all those DIY projects, picking up those leaves, all the blowers, rakes, everything else that you need for picking up leaves. They've got that for you this time of year. Wonderful selection of paint and everything you need that you'll find, plus a great staff to help you find it at East Memphis Ace Hardware. That's the corner of White Station and Quince.
All right, got some college hoops to talk about from last night. Also some college football news. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
What happens to former real estate agents when they want to sell their homes? This is Sheldon Rosengarten, actually Shell Dunn, with Mark Spensdorf Realtors. I am so proud and feel so honored when former real estate agents contact me when they want to sell their homes. They know that I've been in the business for quite a while, have a great deal of experience, and know that I am good at marketing, not merely putting a sign in the yard and hoping it sells. Over the years, I have developed a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. Talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure that I am one of them. So if you or someone you know is thinking about selling a home, remember what other real estate agents who have been in the business do. They call me, Shell Dunn Rosengarten, at 483-0546, or email me at memphisrelocate.com. I will wait to hear from you to take advantage of this good market. That's 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Thank you.
Let's end this year with a bang with Gossett Mitsubishi's Mitsubishi Motors year-end sales event. You want huge savings? We Gossett. The awards keep coming for the world's first and best-selling plug-in hybrid SUV, 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, 420 total range and PGE. We Gossett at $299.96 a month. Plus, 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, buy for $26,850 or $379 a month. Plus, IIHS top safety pick in seat 7, 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, $32,185 or $399 a month. All equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike or 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV PZ062 MSRP 44,355, 84 months, 500 military and conquest or loyalty rebate. Outlander RZ 006545, MSRP 33,185. Sport RU 001,004, MSRP 27,850. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. The holiday season should remind us that faith and family are the most important things in life. And we hope that you succeed in coming together this holiday season with those you love and in the process creating some generational memories. Holidays have this magical power to magnify small things to ever greater memories over time. What a return on investment. Happy holidays.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Memphis attorneys. 5100 Poplar Avenue, Suite 2932, Memphis, Tennessee 38137.
Paid for by Cordell & Cordell.
Want to play a private country club but only pay daily greens fees? Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis is your place. You can now play a beautiful, challenging course for only $59 plus tax, including cards. Meadowbrook Country Club features champion Bermuda greens and now is available to everyone. A membership is only $350 per month and includes tennis, pickleball, and swimming, plus a great restaurant and bar. Golf Pro Mark can even fix you up with custom-made tricks on clubs. Call 870-394-4186 today for your Tuesday through Sunday tee time at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis.
As you know, the holiday season is fast approaching, and as you also probably know, 117 Prime, Memphis's premier dining destination, now has its menu available for takeout. Now, far be it from us to ever suggest that somebody could, theoretically, order a full dinner from 117 Prime and then pass it off as their own cooking at a holiday meal. We all agree that doing so would be unethical. It would be just plain wrong. But think about how much effort you could save by having 117 Prime make dinner, and then you get to reap all the rewards. Again, it would be wrong.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Congratulations to Memphis Tigers offensive coordinator Tim Cramsey, named one of 57 nominees for the 2023 Broyles Award, which honors the best assistant coach in college football. The Tigers have scored 20-plus points in 24 consecutive games, which is the longest streak in the nation. I know you knew that, but I don't know how many people know that. Also, there's a report out there, and I'm not sure how legitimate it is, but it comes from a legitimate source, that UCLA is likely to fire head coach Chip Kelly after the USC game. If they're already ready to fire the guy, just fire him now. I mean, you see already what's going on with teams that are dumping their coaches early because of the situation we're in with the transfer portal.
Is that, by the way, does that make, I guess maybe this time of year you can't announce it that way, but does that make him part of the Broyles Award watch list?
What did I say?
You say he's a nominee. But this is this isn't watch list season, so I don't know if you can.
No.
Can't call it a watch list.
No, we already had the watch list season. Now it's actual.
Does the Broyles Award do a watch list before the year? I don't know if
I think so. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't.
I don't know. Maybe they just choose to let everybody watch everybody.
No, you're right. I mean, I hear what you're saying. Maybe this is an extension of the watch list season all the way to now. I'm not sure if they had a watch list and now cut it down. It's still 57, but that includes offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, probably all coaches that are not head coaches, because it's best assistant. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have to be just a coordinator. But congrats to Tim on that. From the NFL, the Bills have fired offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey after the Bills' meltdown, although they lose the game because their defense gives up a big pass interference play, right? They give up the drive, and then the special teams unit throws 12 guys out on the field, but Ken Dorsey's the one who gets fired. Joe Brady, yes, Joe Brady, the LSU guy who didn't work out at Carolina, he takes over the play calling duties for the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, this was somebody they needed to do something to satisfy the fans. But, I mean, the offense is like the 4th-ranked offense in the NFL. Like, the offense has not been the issue. The turnovers have been the issue. Pretty sure Ken Dorsey is not throwing the interceptions or fumbling the ball. But in these cases, somebody has to go, and so he becomes the fall guy for that for the whole situation.
Yes, the old sacrificial lamb. Yeah, I can't imagine Ken in the game plan. Josh, we needed to turn it over 3 times. Last night, college basketball, the Dukies beat Michigan State 74-65. And so that means Michigan State is off to a 1-2 start. Meanwhile, it was Kansas over Kentucky. Number 1 Kansas beating the number 17 Wildcats 89-84.
Yeah, and you got to see a flash of what Kansas is capable of. Hunter Dickinson, 27 points, 21 rebounds. Kevin McCullough, a triple-double. They were down, 14, I think, in the second half. Came back to win that game. But
were they really? I didn't know that.
Dickinson is a load, and then you throw in McCullough and then all the other talent there. That is a really, really good Kansas team. There's a reason they are number 1.
I'm sick of Kansas.
Well, don't go there.
I won't.
You're not in Kansas anymore.
I've never been. Have I been to Kansas? I've been to Kansas City, Missouri, which is right on the border. Right? Is that on the border? Right? Mm-hmm. Kansas City, Kansas City, Missouri. But did I ever go across the border? No, wait a minute. I've been to Kansas. I did a game in Manhattan, Kansas. I did a game at Kansas State. So, yes, I have been to Kansas. Some states I still haven't been to, including Colorado. I've never been to Iowa, and I've never been to Nebraska, but I have been to Kansas.
Well, if you've been to Kansas, you've been to Iowa.
Elsewhere in college basketball last night.
You've also been to Nebraska.
13th ranked Texas A&M, which will be on the Memphis Tigers schedule, or is on the Memphis Tigers schedule, and SMU is as well. Texas A&M beat SMU 79-66. Florida Atlantic, the other team in the American Conference that people are keeping an eye on, Final Four team last year, drills Eastern Michigan 100-57. Mississippi State a winner last night over Northern Alabama 81-54. 7th-ranked Tennessee over Wofford 82-61. And we mentioned Ole Miss slipped by Detroit Mercy, a game you went to, 70-69.
Yeah, Ole Miss, it's interesting. Last night, Jamarian Sharp, at the end of the game, pretty much most of the second half, they took him out of the game. And Chris Beard afterwards talking about the fact that what teams are doing is, in this current world of basketball, worth 5 out and guys who, 5 men who shoot the 3, they're trying to get Sharp more capable of defending outside the lane. He's a great shot blocker in the lane. Like, you come down the lane, he's back there. It pretty much gets rejected. But Detroit Mercy had a guy who just got 3-point line, and Sharp struggles outside lane. So they basically he didn't play much in the second half because they just can't have him out there when these teams are stretching the floor on them. So then that leads to problems rebounding the basketball, which they've been out-rebounded, and I'm not sure if it's every game, but they've had real trouble rebounding. They only shot 6 free throws in the entire game last night, which is incredible to think you'd only shoot 6 free throws in a game. But they were able to hold on, but they really need to get
Cisse?
Well, they need Cisse, but they need Brandon Murray. Brandon Murray is the one they're still waiting on as well. They're waiting on both of those guys on waiver requests.
What does Beard think?
The NCAA. I don't know. I didn't ask him about that. I don't know where they stand with those. They're just waiting for the NCAA to give them word on both of those guys. But they certainly could use Murray, and they could use Cisse as well. But even with Cisse, then they got to figure out him and Sharp. And again, if teams are stretching you out, what are you able to do with those 2 guys in that situation?
Ian Rappaport's reporting that Deshaun Watson suffered a season-ending shoulder injury in the first quarter against the Ravens and is heading to injured reserve. It's a displaced fracture in his right, in his shoulder, glenoid, and he'll have surgery to repair it. Full recovery is expected. So that guy played through the shoulder injury, which was broken, and an ankle injury in the win for the Browns over the Ravens. So P.J. Walker now the starting quarterback for Cleveland. Cleveland, a much improved team, especially on the defensive side. But Deshaun Watson is done for the year.
Been an interesting run there in Cleveland for old Deshaun and the massive contract that he got.
So as the shoulder is taken care of after the operation, do you get massages on the shoulder, or do you stay away from that in the recovery, rehabilitation? Any massages?
If I know Deshaun, he's going to get massages.
I'm sure he will. All right, when we come back, hour 2 of the program, we're talking Memphis Tigers basketball. We'll be joined by assistant coach Andy Borman, our weekly Tigers basketball guest, and Jerry Palm will join us. We got some Major League Baseball awards news. It is award season, so we have the latest as far as that's concerned. It's all coming up in hour 2. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Start your day the right way at La Palapa with the biggest, baddest breakfast burrito around. Chorizo, cheese, rice, beans, and eggs served with fresh salsa, and it's served all day. La Palapa has daily lunch specials, all served with rice and beans, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Try a torta, breaded chicken, steak, chorizo, or ham served with mayo, avocado, lettuce, tomato, and jalapenos, all in a hoagie. Plus amazing soups and dinner entrees, all at La Palapa, 5255 Summer Avenue. La Palapa, the little hut with big taste.
Did you know gas goes bad in as little as 30 days? Bad gas can cause rough starts, poor performance, or no starts at all. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Whether it's your car, truck, boat, lawnmower, leaf blower, weed trimmer, ATV, motorcycle, or anything else with an engine, when you store, start with Stable.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawald Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawald is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It remains pretty heavy at times on 55 northbound, coming up through DeSoto County from an earlier wreck there just past Church Road. Give yourself a little bit of extra time, especially coming up from Hernando through that section of DeSoto County on 55 going northbound, headed up towards South Memphis as traffic picks up over here on 40 going westbound, coming past Sycamore View Road. Weimer's Jewelry is gearing up for the holiday season. Go by and see them today at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:03. Happy hump day to you. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you on this Wednesday, November 15th, 2023. We're going to talk Memphis Tigers basketball in just a moment with assistant coach Andy Borman. We are in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, it's where family and fun come together. 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Their overstock sale continues just in time for the holidays. You're looking for something special, head on over to Family Leisure. So, Zach, we don't have Andy's open yet, but we do know some music that he likes, right?
Yes.
We going to play some music for him?
We can.
Go ahead. Cue that up. We'll bring on Andy, play him the music that he likes. Without further ado, he joins us now each and every week, and we're very happy to have him on. He's Memphis Tigers men's basketball assistant coach Andy Borman. You can follow him on Twitter at Andy_Borman. He joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Hey, Andy.
Good morning. Good morning.
You sound sleepy. Did we wake you up?
No, not at all, man. I've been here for a little bit. I'm amped up.
You got that music cued yet? All right, play a little music for Andy.
There you go.
This love is getting kind of dangerous.
What are we listening to, Andy?
Fantastic selection.
Yeah, that's Chris Stapleton. But it's got that, even though he's a country singer, it's got that kind of like classic rock vibe to it.
Yeah, that was a great start.
That's a good one.
That's a great start to the song. It gave me some vibes of the 70s rock I grew up with, so that was terrific. We'll get that open all set up for you.
Great choice.
Absolutely terrific choice. And I know you're in a good mood as last Friday night, and I was in Charlotte with the football team. We were all assembled at an establishment in Charlotte to watch the Tigers, and they fall behind by 14, and we thought, oh, boy. And then the second half, an explosion, great offense, terrific defense. What was said at halftime?
I mean, I think it was very, very positive feeling from the players because while we were down, 14, we went into the half down 7.
Right.
And so we also knew we weren't playing great offensively. But like with this team, that's going to come. Like our offense, as long as our defense is consistent, right? Our offense is going to come because it's going to just keep getting better, and we have so many guys with so much firepower. But at halftime, the main thing, was just talking about making that one little adjustment of putting Caleb Mills on Sean East.
Mm-hmm.
And then just making sure that we really hammered them on the glass. Just keep hammering them on the glass and keep defending. Everything else will take place.
So was that in the second half then with the defense, how much when you get a defensive half like that, a change, I guess, obviously, again, you made adjustments, but how is part of it too that, maybe in the first half they're making some tough shots, second half they don't make those shots?
I mean, that could be part of it. I think our defense was good throughout. And by the way we play, because of our depth, like Caleb Mills is still on the floor. Whether he started the game or started the second half, he's still on the floor for a significant part of the half. I just think with us, like if you watch it, like I said, it went from 14 to 7, and then starting Mills. Really, like it went from 7 to a tie game in like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a chance to punch them right away, and we did. And then you see, I think I'm right that right early in the second half, David Jones buries a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So like you see the ball go in the basket, and our team is just gaining confidence and energy, and it was great because. What happened in that building is in the middle of the first half, that building was rocking. that thing was rocking. And then as the game progressed, that thing got quieter, and our bench and our team and our players got louder. And by the end of the game, our little contingent of 20 was louder than that entire arena.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, there was the point in the first half where they had like the conga line going to the hole, like 3 straight basic layups. And I was thinking to myself, maybe they don't have the right combo out there. Early in the season, are you guys still experimenting a little bit?
Of course. Yeah, of course. And also, like I said, don't forget, like, our leader, isn't with us. So we're trying our best, to do everything we can to help the team and try to do everything the way that Coach Hardaway would do it and the way that Coach Hardaway wants it done. But there's no substitute for Coach Hardaway. It's
right.
We're trying. We're trying, but and that's something that's so great. It's been, for me personally and for me selfishly, right? And I think I speak for the rest of the staff. It's been such a great learning experience the last 2 weeks, because he's telling us what he wants and then he's not there. And then afterwards, it's kind of like you get like, a behind the scenes into his brain, because then we watch the tape and he's tell us what he's thinking. Whereas when he's there, he can just do it, so it's we're trying our best, but that's kind of the way it's going. And I think because of that, we are experimenting. And I think we're trying to do just what the game dictates, as opposed to like trying to figure out what the long season recipe is.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned, quieting that arena down. And the other night I was watching the Manning cast for Monday Night Football, and one of their guests asked them what they liked better, winning on the road or winning at home. And both of them said definitely winning on the road. From a coach's perspective, even from your playing days, obviously it's great to win at home and you got the crowd going crazy, but is there some extra satisfaction going into that hostile environment and just knowing it's just your little group against all of those people and shutting them up like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I remember, a million years ago when I was in college, winning at Maryland was the thing.
Easy.
Right?
Easy, Andy.
But no, absolutely. Like going into someone else's home and being able not just to win, right? Like winning's great, but when you can take control and dictate the flow of the game,
right?
And then if you want the ultimate, it was what happened at Missouri. Before that 4-minute media in the second half. They started heading for the exit.
Yeah, they start leaving, right?
When you see opposing fans wearing opposing colors and they're going to get their car out to avoid traffic, that's a good feeling.
All right, so in the game against Missouri in the second half, once you started to take control of that game, well, no. You just mentioned the fans bolting out of there. But really, early in that half, you had a rotation that just took control of the game. And Coach Stansbury, along with the help of you guys, Faraji and everybody on the bench, you limited the rotation. You didn't go deep. You stayed basically with 7, maybe 8. I'm trying to remember, but that was it. So is that something that just the game dictated? These guys were off and rolling to start the second half. You were going to run with your hosses? Or is this something that was dictated by Coach? Because Coach in the first game, albeit against Jackson State, played 14 guys. So I'm trying to wonder if it's going to be a limited rotation moving forward, depending on the opponent, or is this something that was just basically this game and a decision that was made by Rick and the rest of you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly it's just this game. Now that doesn't mean that it won't happen again, right? But I think like we're playing at Missouri in a high major game in a very important early season game. As crazy as that sounds, I know it's the second game of the season, but it's very important. I mean, getting opportunities to win those games on the road are not, they don't happen every week.
Oh, they're huge.
And then I think you look at the fact that, like, a couple of the guys that we played in the first half, in our estimation, it doesn't mean we're right, but they looked a little nervous.
They were overwhelmed.
Yes. And so, hey, that's okay. Let's shrink it up and just go win this game. But I can tell you what'll happen, is this Friday, those guys are going to have opportunities.
Right.
And then in addition to that, when we go to the Bahamas, we're going to end up playing 3 high major games in 3 days. Those guys aren't going to just have opportunities. They're needed, and it's required of them, and so I think we're a deep team with a lot of guys that can help us. And I think that was just a in the moment, let's win this game thing.
Got you.
We talked last week when we were talking about Missouri, and we talked about their point guard in a linebacker's body. You have Javon Quinterly, and in a road game like that, in that type of environment, to have that type of guy who's been there, done that, played in those environments many, many times, and you look at his numbers, and he plays 34 minutes, and he gets you 18 and 8. How important is a guy like that in that type of environment?
Oh, I mean, I think you saw it, right? I mean, I'm just going to repeat everything you just said. He's been in those games. He's thrived in those games. He has experience in those games. And there's no moment too big, right? And I think you can see that's his. I mean, when the lights come on, he's ready to go. And I think the best thing about him, is he can hurt the other team in a number of different ways, and it's not just scoring the ball. He can hurt the other team because the minute he starts scoring and now you got to play him, now he can start feeding his teammates.
Right.
Because he's got incredible feel. So yeah, he was ready for the moment, and he took control of that game, and that was just what we needed.
The unsung hero, I think, for Memphis, and you may or may not agree, was what Caleb Mills did defensively to Sean East in that second half.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
Did you I didn't know how good a defensive player he was. I knew he was good, but did you guys know he was this, I assume you did, that he was this lockdown defender? I mean, that was an unbelievable job he did.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he he can, and he does it, here consistently. And I think at halftime, when we were in the coach's locker room and we were just talking about some ideas, I think that was pretty unanimous, right? Like, hey guys, what do we think about this idea? Because, by the way, Nick Jourdain is equally that guy. He's equally that guy too, as a, overall complete player that can really defend and rebound, but can also score and shoot. It's just in that particular moment, we needed a guard.
Right.
And so, hey, what do we think of this idea? Great, let's do it. And everyone was behind it. And, when we're sitting there going like, and, like the hard thing, right, as a coach, you're trying to predict the future. Whereas a spectator, you can kind of go based off of what, is happening or just happened.
Right.
And I think the good thing with Caleb is he made us look smart.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's always nice. It's not easy to make me look smart, but it's always nice.
What does a game, again, especially when you've got a lot of new guys that you're putting together, what does a game like this on the road early in the season just do confidence-wise and kind of show, like, these guys, okay, this is when we all come together, we could be pretty darn good?
I think it does a lot, and I think it's one of those things, where you think how good you can be, and a game like that can help validate it. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean it's reality. We need to keep doing it over and over. and that's how you form good habits. And I think that's where it's great to get, kind of like a reaffirmation of who we are, but at the same time, we're nowhere near where we can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, kind of where the standard is, like we're not at our standard yet. And that's where, like every single day you sit there and you go like, holy cow, that's an upset, And so I think that's where, as great as the Missouri game was, we need to make sure that Friday we take care of business and that we're not looking too far ahead to the Bahamas just yet. But we got to take care of business, because after Friday, if you look at this schedule,
mm-hmm.
it's got to be, if it's not the toughest schedule in the country, I want to know, because like the month of December is ridiculous, so we better make sure that we take care of business here in the next 72 hours.
Exactly. And you want to be peaking by the time you go to the Bahamas for that challenge, because these wins really add up when it comes to March as far as seeding and things of that nature. But you kind of alluded to it a little bit, because this is the quintessential trap game. You come from Missouri, the big win, you had some days off, and guys can get, fat and happy, and then you have the big Bahamas trip next week, and sandwiched in between is Alabama State. So as you said, Coach, this is important to have these guys ready to go like they're playing the number one team in the country, like they're playing Kansas against Alabama State, because Tony Matlack will have his team ready to go and prime for an upset.
No doubt. And they're going to come in. And by the way, if you watch them, they played Iowa and Ole Miss.
Yes, they did.
I mean, they could have gotten both of them. And what Coach Matlock has done with them, they're really good. They're really good, and we know how good they are. So we have to come in and we got to be ready for that, no doubt about it.
Well, we got you set for your opens in the future. White Horse by Chris Stapleton. Eli said that's a good pick, good choice. So
anything Chris Stapleton's a good choice.
There we go. Hey, what's the travel plans? When are you guys going to head to the Bahamas? Monday?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I can tell you that I don't think that's a trip that anyone's going to miss. I think everyone will be on time for that one. But I think we leave Monday.
Okay. Well, as long as there's not a scheduling problem with practice or things of that nature, we'll hook up with you down in the Bahamas next week. Andy,
Absolutely.
Thank you as always. Really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Take care. That is Andy Borman, University of Memphis men's basketball assistant coach, who is joining us each and every week during the Tigers season. James Gaddis Jewelers is your family's jeweler, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. The holidays are rapidly approaching. You're thinking about popping the question during the holidays, make sure James Gaddis Jewelers is one of the jewelers that you visit to see their special diamonds. They are full-service jewelers with 2 bench jewelers ready to serve you, and all their diamonds are independently graded and certified. They know there's a lot of competition out there, so they make sure they have a price point to suit everyone's budget. I know a lot of folks, including Eli, who've purchased diamond rings from James Gaddis Jewelers, and you could be the next. They will take care of you. Just go on over there. Tell them you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings. James is just terrific. He's really, really special at what he does. He's a master jeweler, certified appraiser, and he's a diamondologist. He's also graded by the Gemologists Institute of America. So in other words, he's an all-American when it comes to jewelry. Maybe it's not a diamond you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for just a special piece of jewelry for the holidays for a loved one. Well, they have great watches of all types, all kinds of different watches. The Rolexes, absolutely. Custom-made jewelry, gemstones of all types, bracelets and necklaces and earrings and pendants. Plus, they have the estate and vintage jewelry as well. James has the experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts, as I mentioned, to help you with your fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available at James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick. On the web at gaddisjewelers.com. They are the second-hour sponsor each and every day of Sports 56 Mornings. When we come back, the hits just keep on coming. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Here at Memphis Barbecue Supply, we have everything you need for your Thanksgiving feast. If you're smoking, deep frying, or putting that turkey in the oven, we got over 20 different turkey injections and brines to keep your meat juicy and moist, with brine bags and buckets, and 308 different rubs and sauces to choose from. If you're in need of fuel, Memphis Barbecue Supply carries 9 different types of wood chip, chunk, mini logs, and logs of wood, and over 4 tons of wood pellets in stock. And don't worry, we also carry thermometers, injectors, and all other sorts of gadgets that you might need to simplify your cook. And for any questions that you might have, our knowledgeable staff is always eager to help. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbqsupply.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Yo, Mark, long time no see. You still down at Dyer's?
Man, I'm not down at Dyer's. I'm out at Collierville Historic Town Square.
When'd you move out there?
We've been out there for about 13 years. We've got the shops, the park. We got the train the kids like to play on.
You still cooking those burgers the old-fashioned way?
Man, we're still flattening out those hamburger balls on a slab of marble and skillet frying them the old-fashioned way like they've been doing for 100 years.
Dude, you still have those onion rings.
Man, they're fantastic. Hand-breaded, served up just right.
I loved those milkshakes. Please tell me you're still doing those.
Man, we are hand-dipping those shakes, putting them in the old glass in the shake tin, served the old-fashioned way.
You got any new items out there I need to know about?
We're just doing a lot of gourmet sandwiches. We've got farm-raised catfish straight out of the Delta. We've got some hot tamales from Pasquale's Tamales out of Helena, Arkansas.
Man, are they served in the husk?
What those guys like to say, they're so good, you'll suck the shuck.
Go see my buddy Mark at Dyer's Cafe in Collierville's historic town square.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Looking for your next car? Give Car Corner a try. Car Corner, located at 2653 Mount Moriah. They specialize in cars under $15,000. Bad credit? No problem at Car Corner. CarCornerMemphis.com. That's CarCornerMemphis.com. They even have cash cars under $7,000. That's Car Corner at 2653 Mount Moriah. CarCornerMemphis.com. Look for the building with the teal green roof.
Experience the taste of Italy at Little Italy's newest location in East Memphis at 6300 Poplar. Little Italy has great Italian food for all your friends and family, and it's all your favorite dishes from lasagna to rigatoni vodka, Alfredo, even lobster ravioli. Try East Memphis Little Italy's very generous calzone, hot from the oven and stuffed with your choice of meats and perfectly melted cheeses. To celebrate East Memphis Little Italy's New location in East Memphis. Purchase any 18-inch pizza or any entree and get a complimentary dessert. Either a free mini cannoli or a free slice of New York cheesecake. East Memphis Little Italy wants to spoil you with a piece of Italy you can feel, taste, see, and enjoy, and eat. East Memphis Little Italy, 6300 Poplar, hidden in back at the corner of Poplar and Massey. East Memphis Little Italy brings Italy to you.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show. Right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. There's a couple of minor accidents out here the last few minutes. It's looking better on 55 northbound up through DeSoto County, where we had a crash earlier near Church Road. It's a little bit busy now on 40 westbound as you pass Sycamore View Road, getting up on that flyover there to get off onto Sam Cooper. Coming inbound on Sam Cooper actually looks pretty good at the moment. Hey, get rid of that old junk car by calling cash for junk cars here in the Memphis area. That number is 901-258-8999. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 8:30 the time, halfway home on this hump day edition of Sports 56 Mornings. If you went to bed early last night and not sure what the Grizzlies did, well, good thing you went to bed early. Lakers all over the Grizzlies last night, 134-107, dropping the Grizzlies down to 2-9. It is Wednesday. It is 8:30. It's time to talk to Jerry Palm.
It's time for Sports 56 Mornings Weekly Chat with Jerry Palm, college football and basketball writer and bracketologist for CBSSports.com. Here are Greg, Eli, and Jerry.
He is Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, CBSSports.com. You can follow him on Twitter at JPPalmCBS and catch him every Wednesday during both the college football and basketball seasons. Hey, JP.
Hey, how's it going?
Usually you're our leadoff hitter for the 5 favorites, but because we did a local question with Memphians, we gave you the week off.
Yeah, that's tough because I couldn't even tell you where some of my favorite athletes were born. I may have an idea where they grew up, but
yeah,
I don't know where.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it seems like it's tough, but for Memphians, they know.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
it's like I grew up in Chicago. I've lived in Chicago all but about 4 years of my life, but I was born in Lafayette when my parents were at school.
Right. Understand. All right, so last night we had the college football playoff committee come out with their latest rankings, and we had a change at number 1 with Georgia jumping Ohio State. Not a surprise there. Your prognostication is Georgia, Texas, Michigan, Florida State in the playoffs. Right now, for that, I was kind of going over this with Eli.
And that was that was bracket order.
Yes, and I was going over this with Eli during the break, so the assumption here would be that obviously Texas wins the Big 12, that Washington loses, and then Michigan obviously beats Ohio State.
Right.
Okay.
And so you're still sticking with that Texas ahead of Oregon.
Yeah, it's because Texas has got the better win, but we've talked about before now, being concerned about it. Well, now Texas also loses their top running back, so I may actually change it this week.
That's right.
Brooks, Jonathan Brooks, out for the year, number 7 rusher in the country, and that's a tough blow. I mean, I'm not 100% convinced Texas is going to win the league now. But that news came out after I did the bowl projection, so I'm not going to do anything about it until this coming week. But one of the things that is working for Oregon and not Texas is this committee, more than others in the past, is rewarding big margins, big scoring margins. And Oregon is number 2 behind Michigan in terms of scoring margin. And Texas is about 9 points behind. So it's like 24 for Oregon scoring margin, 15 for Texas, give or take. Anyways, so it's, Texas is being held back because they don't win by enough, and Alabama's held back because Texas beat them, and that's still a big deal. It's the best win anybody has. Texas win at Alabama. But, if Oregon goes on and wins and they keep putting up big numbers, I don't know if Texas will be able to overcome that. Yeah, because the big numbers matter. You see it all over the place. It's the reason Florida State's ahead of Washington. It's the reason Oregon's ahead of Texas. It's the reason why Missouri's number 9. That's probably the biggest surprise for me, is that they got that high. If you were to just kind of ignore margins or minimize them to some degree and look at resumes, they shouldn't be ahead of Ole Miss. But Ole Miss got their butt kicked by Georgia, and Mizzou won big over Tennessee, and the committee overreacted to both of those results, in my opinion.
The thing that hurts Texas going forward is apparently nobody wants to play in the Big 12 championship game with them.
Yeah, that's also hurting them. That's another thing that happened this week. Is Oklahoma State loses like $85 million to 2 at UCF. I think UCF is still scoring in that game. Kansas lost and ended up dropping out of the. Oh no, they're still 25. I thought they were going to drop out, but they didn't. So they're still 25. But yeah, the next 3. Oklahoma's in the middle of the rankings, like 14. But the next 3 best teams in that league are all trying to play their way out. They're between 21 and 25. So there's not a lot of margin for error for those 3 teams to stay in the rankings, and it's important for Texas. They don't play Kansas in the regular season, I think. Maybe they don't play Oak State. There's one of them they don't play. But it's important for those teams to stay in the rankings for Texas. And Kansas is going to play Kansas State. That might be this week. So they can't both stay in, at least not next week. So it's Texas needs help, and they're not getting any.
Yeah, and in that scenario, Oregon's final thing would be theoretically. Now we'll see if Washington's still undefeated, but if Washington's undefeated and Oregon beats them as that
Oregon State this week.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if we'll
I think
see
they're going to lose.
If they get through, but if they were to beat an undefeated or a Washington team in the Pac-12 championship game, that would be a massive win for them. Which, as you said, they need wins like that on their resume because the wins aren't there right now for Oregon.
No, but they still got to play Oregon State, and that's even if they lose to Washington this week, that'll still be a ranked team. And then, of course, they get Washington again. I don't know, who does Oregon have this week? So,
I don't know
who Oregon has this week. By the
Anyway.
way, Texas has Iowa State and Texas Tech
has
remaining.
got nobody left. Texas has nobody left. Oregon has got. Oh, they're at Arizona State, so that's like the worst team in the conference. Which isn't to say they're terrible, but their conference schedule has not been beneficial to them, and Washington State going in the tank is hurting not just Oregon but Washington too. But if Washington State was winning, it'd be at the expense of somebody. So, anyways, their schedule isn't as good, but man, they put up big numbers, and this committee loves to see big numbers.
Yeah, it is funny that Oregon State, one of the teams left out of all of this, and now the court fight going on, but Oregon State could ruin the Pac-12 chances because they get Washington and Oregon in these last 2. They could single-handedly destroy the Pac-12 chances of getting into the playoff in this final year. Aren't
they still able to play for that in that game themselves? I think Oregon State.
Are they still alive?
I
Yes.
assume they win both these. Yeah, they'd have to.
Yes, they're still alive.
Because that would give Oregon 2 losses in the conference.
They'd have the tiebreaker with Oregon, and Washington would have 1 loss, assuming they don't lose again. No, they wouldn't have a tiebreaker with Arizona. I mean, Arizona's still in play.
Yeah, but to your point, Eli, if Oregon State ruins the Pac-12's chance to be in the playoff, they're costing themselves money, and them and Washington State are the only 2 remaining teams. I don't even know what that ruling, the court ruling was yesterday, other than that they kind of control stuff. Well, of course they do.
They were given. So what that was they were asking the judge to essentially make them the board of governors for the Pac-12.
Right.
Just the two of them, because everybody else left, and the others all want to still have a say in what goes on, and they want to take as much money out of the conference as they can for their transition to their other league.
Exactly.
And Oregon State and Washington State didn't think that was fair, and the judge agreed. So, so the judge put gave basically those two total control of the Pac-12 board.
Mm-hmm.
They're the board, and so whatever's left to govern, those two will govern it.
Quite a board.
Although it's going to be appealed.
Quite a board meeting. It's going to be quite the board meeting with two people.
The judge decreed he be his butler.
What the funny thing is, like all of the other schools, the late leavers originally agreed when USC and UCLA were leaving that they don't deserve a spot on the board. But then when everybody left, right? No, we all should get a spot on the board.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about?
All right, so Jerry, the selection committee bowl games, the New Year's bowl games that aren't the playoff games. I was looking at your projections, and you got the Fiesta, the Orange, the Peach, and the Cotton. The only one where it's conference affiliated is the Orange. All the rest are at-larges. One of the at-large will go to the best from the group of five.
And that team will be in the Fiesta Bowl.
And that's Tulane, according to your projection. My question to you is, and you have right now Washington, Louisville. No, sorry. You have Washington, Ole Miss, Penn State, Alabama, Oregon. Is there a chance for the SEC to get 3? Because Missouri's sitting there number 9 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like I said, that projection was not based on Missouri moving up the way they did.
Right, and the number doesn't matter, right? It's an at-large. They can pick whoever they want. In the top 16, isn't it?
The rankings do matter.
No, I mean, but what I'm saying is Missouri doesn't automatically get it because they're ahead of Ole Miss.
Yes, they do.
Well, then
that's what I'm saying. So the Orange Bowl is going to be the highest-rated ACC team after the playoff.
Right.
And the highest-rated
Big Ten
SEC or Notre Dame.
Okay.
Highest-rated team from that group left after the playoff.
Okay.
But that's the Orange Bowl contract. And then the group of 5 team is in.
Right.
Right. The next 5 highest-rated teams are automatically in the New Year's Six.
Okay, so it's not
So
an
it's
not an
totally
at-large.
decided by the rankings.
Yeah, so it's not really an at-large. It's by the number. It's not like a committee. The
It's
committee chairman
it's an
for
at-large in the sense that you're not a conference champion
Okay.
or contracted to the game.
I got you. Like the Cotton Bowl committee chairman can't say, "Hey, I want this team over that team" if they don't meet the criteria.
They will have a pool to choose. Well, actually the playoff committee sets the matchup.
But uses the 5 highest rated.
I suppose,
yeah.
But the selection committee actually creates the matchups
Gotcha.
that are not contracted. So
right now, Ole Miss would not be in one of those games, correct?
they would not if it were today.
Okay.
You're right. And Mizzou would be in ahead of them. And I'm happy for Missouri because they're rarely in this situation. Yeah, they have a good program, but they're rarely at this level.
Yes.
Where they could be considered for a game like this. So I'm really happy for them. But I think the committee totally overreacted this week to both the Missouri result and the Mississippi result. And Missouri got all the way up ahead of Louisville.
I know, and they punked Tennessee. And
Who doesn't win by enough, by the way? Louisville doesn't win by enough.
Apparently not.
No.
You said so. The group of 5 school, it's automatically the Fiesta Bowl, or aren't they?
It is this year. It is this year because the Fiesta Bowl has not had that. So the Fiesta, Cotton, and Peach essentially rotate to take the group of 5 team. Now, Cincinnati making the playoffs kind of threw that off one year, but the Fiesta Bowl has not had the group of 5 team in a while, so they are going to get the group of 5 team this year. That's like an unwritten rule, but it's a rule. Those 3 bowls rotate the group of 5. The other bowls can't take them because of contractual arrangements.
You, in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl here in Memphis, you have Kansas State and Mississippi State. So
Mississippi State's not going to
get.
You
believe Mississippi State's going to beat
their coach?
You believe they're going to beat Ole Miss?
No, I think.
Well, they would have to.
It's 5 and 7.
Oh,
I have half a dozen 5 and 7 teams in games. So, and plus I also have James Madison and Jacksonville State are transitioning teams that would not be eligible otherwise. So I actually have 8 openings and I've got those two. They're first in line, and then I think 6, 5, and 7 teams this week.
Wow, you think we're going to be?
And Mississippi State is one of them.
And that's determined by the AP. What's that determined by? Like the academic or the APR or whatever it's called?
APR, exactly. APR.
Wow, Mississippi State's way up there, huh? They're the Harvard of the South. I didn't know that.
Among the teams I project to 5 and 7, yes. They're not, I can't tell you their APR off the top of my head, but it must be reasonably good.
Has to be.
Yeah.
So,
I could have teams in the 9. It's on a 999 is the highest, and so they're probably in the 970 neighborhood.
Gotcha.
I would say.
So with James Madison, if they don't have enough teams that get to 6 wins, are they're guaranteed a spot?
They are first in line.
Okay.
Yep, they're first in line. Them and Jacksonville State are first in line, but there's no way it wouldn't be James Madison.
Mm-hmm.
But that, it's 6. The order would be 6 and 7 teams that lost their conference championship game would go first. We're not going to have any of those. And then 6 and 7 teams that played a 13-game regular season schedule, and we're not going to have any of those. So then it's teams in the second year of transition to FBS that would be bowl eligible otherwise, right? They can't go at 5 and 7, but they can go at 6 and 6 or better. So those two have qualified for that. And after that, it's 5 and 7 teams based on APR.
By the way, if they reverse the rule and allow JMU in, and they run the table, win their conference championship, and Tulane wins the American and only has the 1 loss, does JMU jump in there ahead of Tulane?
They might. I haven't really spent any time evaluating them because they're not relevant yet.
Right.
And I guess I don't really expect them to get a waiver.
Okay.
I mean, the NCAA is not really very good at waivers.
No, they're not. No,
I'm kind of sympathetic, but James Madison knew what they were signing up for when they signed up for it. So,
I agree.
I'm not going to.
The rule's stupid, but the rule is dumb. But what they did was they knew the rule. That's what you're saying. They knew it.
Yeah, and it's well,
they weren't in a position to fight the rule, the rule, it's a dumb rule.
It's a stupid rule, right? But it's like they're in.
Yeah, they have to do the rule, but that doesn't make it.
I think at least in part is to keep teams from just floodgates opening and everybody just coming up because there's no reason not to.
Yeah, I hear
you. And part of it is, that's part of it. That's the unwritten part of it. And the biggest part of it is just that the transition is, you have to have more scholarships and you have to have, there's stuff that you have to do to be a full-fledged FBS team, and maybe James Madison got there faster, or at least
they did. They said they've gotten all of those things, all the things that they had to do. They've gotten to. They said. Anyway, let's move on from that.
Okay. They'll probably get the waiver. When's the selection bowl selection? December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever? When is it?
Yeah, whatever that Sunday is.
Night before.
The Monday after that, the NCAA will grant their waiver.
The Monday after.
The NCAA said, "Yeah, you guys are right. Your waiver is granted." Oh, you're already in a bowl game. Sorry. On the basketball front, last night we had a couple of big matchups, but anything stand out to you on the basketball front so far?
Got Michigan State having problems. It's one thing to lose to Duke. That's a pretty good team. But, of my 4 number 1 seeds, 2 of them have already lost. Michigan State lost twice because the 2 played each other last night. And Kansas almost got beat. It's been kind of a rocky start, for some of these teams at the top of the rankings. But it's early season stuff. Weird things happen in basketball sometimes, and you can't get too excited about it. It's a 35-game season, so it's not like football where you lose once and all of a sudden you're out of the national championship.
Are you updating just once a week right now?
For what? Basketball?
For basketball.
No, I did a preseason bracket, and I won't do another one until mid-December.
Okay.
There's no point in doing brackets without data. With no data at all.
I agree 100%.
The net should be coming out the last week. I think the week after Thanksgiving is usually when the net makes its first appearance. And it'll be comical, too, because they don't have enough data for that. But, yeah. So I usually do my first in-season bracket in mid-December and then start early January. with the weekly stuff.
All right, we'll check it out at cbssports.com. He is Jerry Palm from CBS Sports and cbssports.com. You can follow him on Twitter at JPPalmCBS and catch him every single Wednesday talking college football, college basketball with us. And that includes next Wednesday. We'll talk to you then, Jerry.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Folks, if you need supplies for preparing that Thanksgiving meal from Memphis Barbecue Supply Company, well, today is your last day for online orders. You can go to mbbqsupply.com, but you got to get those to make sure you get everything in time. If you're going to order online, you need to get those orders in by 5 o'clock today. Now, you can go by Memphis Barbecue Supply and get your stuff over there without a problem. But if you're going to order online, to make sure you get it in time, you need to get those orders in by 5 o'clock today. Again, that's mbbqsupply.com. Now, you can find them at 7041 Stage Road. And when it comes to preparing that Thanksgiving turkey, they've got everything you need, from the different brines and injections. They've got your brine bags and buckets, rubs, sauces, anything else that you need for anything that you're preparing. They've got you taken care of. They've got your wood. They've got your charcoal. They've got your pellets, all of that at Memphis Barbecue Supply. They've got the thermometers, injectors, and gadgets to simplify the cook as well, plus a great staff to help you if you've got questions. Maybe you've never been in charge of the turkey before. Maybe you're trying to deep fry it for the first time, or you're trying to smoke it for the first time. Whatever it is, the folks over there, they can answer those questions and help you make sure you've got the right stuff to make sure that turkey is perfect for your Thanksgiving meal. Memphis Barbecue Supply, 7041 Stage Road, and online to get those orders in by 5 o'clock today at mbbqsupply.com.
You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck, because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting a spread bet together with the over for my parlays, and anytime player touchdown always has me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Memphis' oldest restaurant, Coletti's, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Coletti's caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Coletti's for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Coletti's. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Coletti's even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Coletta's on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Coletta's. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing. This family business started up 5 years ago with just one pallet, and now they have hundreds. Tim, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood flooring, carpet, tile, and vinyl. Jenkins Floors and More helps with renovations, home building, and installation. Jenkins Floors and More, number 6 East Commerce Street in Hernando. Also in Little Rock and coming soon to Tennessee. Call 662-469-9350 for more information.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
If you missed it from earlier this morning, big NFL news. Deshaun Watson out for the remainder of 2023. The Cleveland Browns quarterback injured his shoulder, broke his shoulder in the game against Baltimore. Stayed in, played, and they won the game. But he is done. P.J. Walker will take over as the starting quarterback in Cleveland. Major League Baseball postseason awards rolling in. Now, these are based on the regular season, not postseason play. It's just the season is obviously done. They have their little awards week, and the National League and American League Managers of the Year were announced yesterday. Skip Schumacher, the former Memphis Redbird and St. Louis Cardinal player, leads the Marlins this year and is the Manager of the Year in the National League. Meanwhile, Brandon Hyde of the Baltimore Orioles is the American League Manager of the Year.
Yeah, it's a pretty close vote in the National League. But I don't think any real surprise that those are the two winners.
Who was second?
In the National League, I believe Council finished second, if I'm not mistaken. And then but like the first place votes, I think, were even. Then I think they got third. I think they were on like one or two first place votes. Like their first place votes were very evenly distributed in the National League.
Yeah, and I know there's people right now, they're saying, wait, Bruce Bochy didn't win it in the American League, and maybe Dusty not Dusty, but Torey Lovello and no, it's again. This is voted upon after the regular season. They just announce it after the postseason is done, after the World Series is done. Brandon Hyde, the Orioles, they were a huge surprise this year, a disappointment in the postseason, but a huge surprise to be where they were. I think he absolutely deserved Brandon Hyde.
Oh yeah, that was and that one wasn't really that close. Bochy finished second, but yeah, I mean what they did, the Orioles, the year they had, I don't think there's any doubt as far as that one was concerned. And Hyde got 27 of the 30 first place votes in that one. But okay, so Schumacher got 8 first place. Council finished second, but only got 5 first place votes. Brian Snitker got 8 first place votes, same amount as Schumacher, but finished third. And then Torey Lovello got 4 first place votes, and Dave Roberts got 4 first place votes. And then David Bell got 1. So you had 5 guys who got at least between 4 and 8 first place votes in the NL voting. The NL voting was very tight.
No love for my boy Rob Thompson? Nothing? Nada?
David Ross got a vote, but Rob Thompson did not.
Wow. Now, if he did it after the postseason, he would have got some support, but Torey Lovello would have won it. That's why they do it during the regular season, or they vote after the regular season is over because it's a regular season award. Rory McIlroy has resigned from the PGA Tour's policy board. Does that mean anything? Here's a guy who's been all pro PGA Tour and anti everything else.
I have no idea if that means anything. Rory has been on a weird little run here. He's talking a lot talked about the Ryder Cup stuff. Had some funny things to say about Patrick Cantlay.
He did.
And all that whole
He didn't mince
situation.
words, did he?
So, yeah, I don't know. Rory's kind of been on one a little bit, and I don't know. He might be frustrated with the fact that this whole, there's talk that there's some rumors that the talks with the PIF is breaking down.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's just a little frustrated with the delay and everything and saying, fine, I'm just going to get out of it and you'll figure it out.
Well, Greg Norman recently popped out of his groundhog's hole and talked about how Live Golf is in a good way and they're going to add players and everything's great with that. And you're right, this PIF has maybe fallen apart. I think the vote has to be confirmed by December. I'm not sure if it's December 1st, but sometime in December for this to happen. But right now, it looks like we could be back to status quo, where we go into the golf season in 2024, and it's the PGA Tour, it's the DP World Tour, it's Live, and they're all separate. They're not together in harmony, as they all talked about with Jay Monahan. And that, when that story broke, that was huge. And we thought, what? Oh, my gosh, that was crazy. Well, it may be crazy because it may not be happening.
East Coast Wings and Grill, nothing crazy there, that's for sure. If you got games on, you want to watch the games, well, they've always got the games, whatever it is, from football, the basketball, Tigers, Grizzlies, college football, NFL football. They've got it all on for you at East Coast Wings and Grill with their many, many TVs that they've got in there. And while you're watching the games, you get to enjoy great food, like any of the 60 flavors of wings they've got to choose from, including some new flavors that they've recently added, one of their juicy Angus burgers or one of the great flatbreads or anything else off that wonderful menu, while enjoying maybe one of their 24 draft beers on tap or any other bottled beers or maybe a mixed drink, whatever it is that you're in the mood for. Plus, they've got great servers, great people over there, just a great atmosphere and a great place to hang out and watch the games. East Coast Wings and Grill is located just off Highway 64 on Kate Hyde Boulevard, which runs right between Lowe's and Walmart. You can also order online at eastcoastwings.com. You can get it delivered via DoorDash. If you want to get those wings at home to maybe watch a game or just for a great meal, you can certainly do that. Get it delivered via DoorDash from East Coast Wings and Grill.
Grizzlies beaten badly by the Lakers last night. We'll talk with DeMichael Cole from the Commercial Appeal about the Grizz when we return to start Hour 3. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Roofs, roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
East Memphis Ace Hardware is more than just a hardware store. It's really a customer service store. With 20 employees along with complete inventory of items, big to little, finding what you need is easy. Choosing from a complete selection of Big Green Egg as well as Traeger and Weber grills. And the Garden Center has everything for your yard. You can get glass cut, repair screens, even new keys with key fob programming. Tools, nuts, bolts, screws, you need it. East Memphis Ace Hardware has it. And they're just down the street at the corner of Quince and White Station.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Here's Gould's holiday special in-store and online. Come to any Gould's over the Black Friday weekend or purchase online on Cyber Monday and Tuesday and receive $20 off when you purchase $120 in gift cards. It's the perfect gift for everyone. This holiday season, give someone you love a Gould's gift card. The Gould's gift card doesn't just send wishes, it grants them. Happy holidays from Gould's. Gould Salon Spa, locally owned and operated since 1932.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still a little bit of volume trying to get up through Midtown right now. It's what we're looking at live on 240 North here at Lamar. It's still a bit crowded sometimes on 40 West, passing Sycamore View Road, getting on that 240 flyover. Billmore's Parkway is actually just now starting to get a little bit busy coming inbound on 385 Billmore's Parkway from Kirby all the way up to 240. Weimer's Jewelry's gearing up for the holiday season. Go by and see them today and shop local at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Power is everything.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:05 is the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Wednesday, November 15th, 2023 edition. Happy Hump Day to you. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd. We're in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, their overstock sale continues at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Going to talk Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole from the Commercial Appeal in just a moment. And then later, 5 favorite things, your 5 favorite college or pro athletes born in the Memphis metropolitan area. Had to be born here. Text in your lists at 901-360-8255 or hit us up with your lists on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or on the website, sportsmemphis.com. Right now, mostly cloudy, 60 degrees. We're going to intervals of clouds and sunshine today with a high of about 68. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with occasional showers, looking at about 40% chance of precipitation, a low of around 50 degrees. If you missed it last night, the Grizzlies got beat by the Lakers out on the West Coast, 134-107 to drop to 2-9, and to add injury to insult, Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard both sustained, I should say, injuries in that particular game. So we'll see what's happening as far as that's concerned and all things Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole.
2 watches, that's 12. Come through and slam on you. I'm in the air.
It's time to talk some Grizzlies basketball. Joining Greg and Eli is DeMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. Here's DeMichael with Greg and Eli.
It is always fun to talk Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole. You can follow him on Twitter at DeMichaelC. Good morning, DeMichael. Unfortunately, the hits just keep on coming for this team, right?
Man, they keep coming. It's like one step forward, 2 steps back. You know, you finally got the front court whole pretty much. I mean, as whole as it can be, you know, at this point in the season without Steven Adams and Brandon Clark. So you get Xavier Tillman back, and you get – so now you finally have Jaren and Santi at power forward, X, and then you signed Biombo. So you got your 4 preferred guys at power forward and center. And now your guard rotation is just depleted. I mean, no Derrick Rose, no job scores. But Marcus Smart leaving in the first quarter, Luke Kennard leaving in the first half. The pieces just aren't there right now.
How bad do those injuries look? Have you heard any word on those?
They're getting reevaluated. I think Marcus Smart is more the one to watch. It sounds like Luke Kennard leaving the game was more of a precautionary thing, but still he has to be reevaluated as well. So they're gonna figure out what's there. But from the looks of it, I think Luke Kennard sounds like his is less long term or whatever the case may be. Marcus Smart is probably the one that we got to watch, considering you got this back-to-back coming up, and even the game against Boston Celtics potentially that is in jeopardy for him now, depending on what comes of this reevaluation.
So if Smart is going to be out for a while, do you see them using either a hardship exception or a disabled player exception and going out and getting somebody in that?
No, I don't, because I mean they got the exemptions that they were granted through Ja being suspended, and they're already going to have to, when Ja gets back, they're going to have to release the player. So the exceptions that you're talking about, they're granted those through Steven Adams injury, I think the Brandon Clark injury as well. They have those injury exceptions, but the difference between those and the one that they got for Ja is you can't just add a player without subtracting another player on the roster. So sure, they can go get another guard, but they'd have to let go of someone on the roster. And considering that they already have to let go of somebody, you have to wonder, is it really worth it for this team? Now if we get to February, we're talking about a trade where you throw in a couple players to try to get an improvement. That's a little different. But going out to sign a street free agent and cutting bait with one of these guys is probably a little bit too risky for this team.
So the one where if you have a certain amount of injured guys out for a certain amount of time, you can't go over your roster limit to sign somebody?
Yeah, it sucks, right? I mean, you wish I think that's the one rule, Eli, where if you follow baseball, 60-day disabled list or injured list is what it's called now. When teams in Major League Baseball place players on the 60-day disabled list, or even, in the NFL, when you place a player on the IR, you're able to add other players to the 53-man roster or baseball 25-man roster or whatever the case may be. The NBA is the only sport of the 4 major sports, I think, in America where that's the case, where you have to basically, if your guys are getting hurt, you just got to ride it out, or you got to end up just cutting someone. So we'll see how the Grizzlies play it, but they're in a tough spot for sure to add anything.
So you were the one that asked the question to Taylor Jenkins, and it was a normal question. I think most people would want to know the answer to that, and he, of course, used it to go off and subsequently fined $25,000 by the NBA. I loved it. I think most people probably did. I don't think it was just because of that game. I think it was everything that was built into him over the season so far, with everything that's gone down, and it kind of just he had to let it out in this particular moment. What did you think about that side of Taylor Jenkins, which we don't see very often?
We don't see often for sure. I think the only other time that I remember seeing him, that agitated, at least, in front of the cameras, was Game 4 against the Minnesota Timberwolves when we were in Minnesota. And, he kind of called out the refs, called out their arrogance, in that game. But, I had a feeling that it was going to happen. And he even said it during, his rant or whatever, that I'm not that type of coach. He rarely does that. And in fact, you guys may remember at one point, I wouldn't say it was kind of a criticism of his, but it was like more people were saying he should, defend, Ja Morant and Jaren when they get in these situations on the court. It's like, where's Taylor Jenkins? He needs to come to bat,
take some technicals for the team. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That was like a critique earlier in his tenure. But, at this time it was kind of needed. The Grizzlies are struggling, and there have been a couple games. I know someone pointed out to me the game they lost in Portland, a couple of the games, and then that Jazz game where they've had what feels like the short end of the stick in terms of refereeing and things like that. I just thought it was wild, the way that Jaren was refereed in that game, considering that I think he took 13 shots, only 2 were three-pointers, so he was aggressively attacking the rim. The Jazz played a small lineup, no Walker Kessler, so they were smaller. So they had to hit him. I mean, he's 6'11", 250, and all his shot attempts were pretty much around and in the paint, and still 0 free throw attempts. So I think some of it is warranted, and at some point you just got to, right? Like Taylor Jenkins pretty much went the entire last season without having one of those type of rants.
If this continues to go really bad, is there any pressure on Jenkins, or do you think the front office gives them the complete pass because of the injuries and they don't blame him at all?
Well, there's pressure from the standpoint of you can't have. I don't think you can't have the same type of issues that you've had in the past. Now, granted, some things you can't control with the injuries and whatnot, but I look at something like, we're seeing them struggle still, with the holding opponents, the defensive three-point field goal percentage. The Lakers just set an NBA record, last night on 35 attempts, making 62, basically 63% of your attempts is an NBA record. And we've seen, the Lakers just went 22 of 35. I think the Mavs made 22. The Wizards, like, these aren't even the great shooting teams that are kind of blowing the doors off when they play the Grizzlies. So you need to see improvement in areas like that. I think it doesn't have to, automatically translate to wins and losses, because it's tough right now. At the end of the day, you're outmanned, you're out-talented by a lot of these teams. But I think, in the simplest form, what it's going to come down to is when Ja Morant gets back, we'll see, what Marcus Smart's situation is. And when they have most of these guys that are available right now, they have to at least look like a play-in 500 team. If this team looks like this or anywhere around this, when Ja gets back, then we'll be having a different conversation.
All right. In honor of Thanksgiving next week, let's talk some turkey. Let's talk some numbers right here. Now, again, things happen to each team that they play. You never know if a team's going to come in with walking wounded, with stars that are not playing. So I understand all that. So this is just kind of speculation here. But they're 2-9. They have 14 more games to go before Ja can return. That means the max Ja can play is 57. He's not playing all those games, and they're not winning all those games. Last year, 40 got you the 10th spot in the play-in in the West. I think it may have been the East as well, but 40 is the number. What do they have to do the remaining 14 games before Ja comes back to get to 40 once he's back? If you know what I'm saying. How many more games do they have to win before he returns to have a decent amount of a chance once he comes back to get to 40?
500 basketball. That's it. Just play 500 basketball. You play 500 basketball the rest of the way. I think you'll be somewhere around 9-16, a little bit under 500, because they're 2-9 right now, right?
Right.
So that'll be 7-8. 7-8 or whatever the case may be.
No, 7-7. Exactly 500. 7-7. So you're saying
7-7.
7-7 over the next 14 will get them to a position where they can make a run to get in the play-in. If it's anything worse, I'm not putting words into your mouth, but we could be looking at them being basically toast even by the time Ja comes back. Let's say they win 2 more games over the next 14.
Yeah, because they're not the only team figuring it out.
Right.
What we gotta remember. Like, the Clippers have lost 6 in a row, and I just feel like, yes, they look bad, but at some point the Clippers are going to turn it around. and it's probably going to be less than December 19th for them. So, you got the Clippers down there struggling, and the rest of the teams down there with the Grizzlies are expected. The Jazz are 4-7, the Blazers are 3-7, Spurs are 3-8. But if you go through the top 10, you got to push probably two of those teams, if not one out. The one team, out of all these teams, you got the Nuggets, Timberwolves, the Mavs, the Rockets, Thunder, Kings, Lakers, Warriors, Pelicans, Suns. You got to push two of those teams out potentially, maybe one if you can kind of get past the Clippers or whatever the case may be. So, tough situation to be in, but I don't think it's anything that's wild because at the end of the day, right now, the Suns are 10th. Grizzlies are only 2.5 games behind them. The 3 games behind the Pelicans, who are currently 9th. So you play 7-7 basketball. I would like to think that that's going to keep you exactly in that range where you're probably 2 games behind whatever the 10 seed. Because the thing about the Western Conference is, as we've seen so far, all these teams are just going to keep beating each other.
Right.
So being 4 or 5 games out isn't really as tough as it sounds at this point, because you look at a team, let's say the Rockets, for example. They're 6-3 right now, won 6 in a row. I think they're playing really good basketball. But I could see them, at some point running into a 3-game, 4-game losing streak. And next thing you know, you run into a 3-game win streak playing Eastern Conference teams or whatever the case may be. You're right there. Like, the Western Conference is going to have so much more movement. I'm really not even paying attention to the standings right now because it's just so much. It's so tough. Like, it's so evenly kind of matched right now. It's going to be injuries that separate teams and things like that.
And certainly there's no doubt about that, especially if Marcus Smart ends up being out for a little while. When you consider they've got Boston, Phoenix twice, Dallas twice, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, 3 against Houston. We'll see if Houston can keep this up. But, what do you think the chances are of going 7-7 in these next 14?
And that was my other thing, man. 7-7 is what you want, but it's going to be tough. I don't think they'll go 7-7. Just to, that was what they need to do. I think if you look at these games, just spitballing real quick here. The Spurs game is one you're probably going to have to win because you get the Celtics on the second night of a back-to-back after that. You mentioned they got 3 games against the Rockets. Talent-wise, you're not far off from the Rockets. So you should, let's say, if you want to win 7 games, you got to win 2 of the 3. Like, just call it what it is. You got to win 2 or 3 against Houston if you want to get to 7.
Yeah.
And then you got a couple games against the Mavs. You need to at least win one of those. And that's 4 right there. Then you got the Jazz. You can't lose to the Jazz again. That's 5. So that doesn't include games against the Celtics, the 2 against the Suns that you mentioned, going to Oklahoma City. And I mean, so
Minnesota, who's been really good.
Oklahoma City is good. They're Shea Gilgeous,
Minnesota.
Minnesota's
in there too.
Minnesota's been incredible. Best defense in the NBA right now, and they're clicking. Mike Conley just hits perfect for them. So it's going to be tough getting to 7. Like, I think 7 is the number. It's what Greg, going back to your question, that's the number where if they get there, they're in prime position to strike.
Yeah,
but anything beyond that, they're going to be really kind of trying to dig themselves out of a hole.
Yeah, I think your assessment is spot on, but I'm with you. And I'm with Eli. I think, Eli, you didn't say it, but I think you're leaning toward it that 7-7, that's wishful thinking. And now we're talking about Smart and his injury and all the injuries that they've had. This is another thing that's interesting. Boston, you mentioned on Sunday, is part of the back-to-back. They go to San Antonio, they play Boston. So here are their 4 remaining November home games. Boston, Phoenix, Minnesota, and then that Utah game you talked about. They have not won a home game this year.
Yep.
Do you know by chance if there's ever been a Grizzlies team that did not win a home game in the month of November?
I would like to think that 02 team might have been the team the year that Hubie Brown became the coach.
Right. Yeah, they had some bad teams, but I don't know for sure off the top of my head if they ever went winless in November at home.
That's the only team that really strikes me as one where that may be the case, where Sidney Lowe started 0-8, and then I think Hubie lost his first 5 games, and the Grizzlies were, 0-11, I think, or something like that. I'm looking at it now. So, no, they won their first home game on November 23rd that season.
So they did get a win in November.
They did get a home win, and they actually got 2. They won November 23rd and November 27th after losing, a bunch before that. So
well, let's hope history's not made.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only season that really came to mind for me. But that Utah game is probably might be waiting to the end of the month because Celtics on the second night of back-to-back is tough. The Suns, we'll see tonight. I'm interested to see what that big three looks like today against the Timberwolves. And I think the Timberwolves have just been one of those teams that, everything's clicking for them now, in terms of they know the hierarchy. Anthony Edwards is the guy. Cat is the number 2. Rudy Gobert, quarterback for defense, and Mike Conley is kind of their leader. So they got something nice going over there.
Well, if Rudy Gobert is the quarterback, Draymond Green got called for roughing the quarterback last night.
Horse collar.
That was a blow to the head or neck area. What Draymond started going professional wrestling last night.
Yeah, I mean, since we're talking football, I mean, he looks like he's trying to play more football than basketball these days. Draymond probably put himself in a tough spot. I tell you what, we see, a lot of these guys being called out, as repeat offenders and things like that for what they're doing, in the league. And obviously that was a big part of Ja Morant's suspension. I want to see if Draymond's going to get the same treatment in this situation, guys, because playoffs, he step on, I forgot, he stepped on DeMarcus Sabonis or something like that in that playoff series last year. We know the Jordan Poole incident, which I don't think he got suspended by the league for, which is wild to me. Like it was a team suspension, or he stepped away from the team or whatever. And now this. So I feel like there's enough there where the league should step in and be like, you need to calm down. And Draymond clearly, at this point of his career, he's not some young guy that you think, oh, yeah, he just needs to be talked to and he'll be fine. Like, this is just who
he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He has no remorse. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just the way that is Silver going to look at that as egregious as opposed to the gun violations with Ja. I'm not, look, it's apples to oranges, but certainly the track record will tell you that Draymond Green deserves a multiple game suspension. So we'll see what happens with that. And then real quickly before we let you go, I think you wrote about Ja and some emojis, some a little posting on social media. He's been relatively quiet. I had no idea he travels with the team. I didn't know that. I thought he had to stay at home. But what were the emojis about? And what are you hearing about Ja as we're getting closer and closer to his return?
Yeah, I mean he's itching to get back for sure. He's working, as you just said. He travels with the team. I think he hasn't traveled for every game, but he's around the team a decent amount. He practices with them. From everything I've heard, he looks good in practice. We'll see, what happens when he. But still, right now, they're still slowly incorporating him in. So he's mainly working with the second team, doing scout stuff, things like that. He's not really getting any first team reps yet.
I understand. He's DeMichael Cole. He has you covered with the Grizzlies. He's the Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal, so check him out over there. Follow him on Twitter at DeMichaelC. Catch him every Wednesday talking Grizzlies with us right here on Sports 56 Mornings. Thanks, DeMichael.
All right, take care, guys.
You too.
Yeah, so the 14 games they have remaining, you got 3 Houston, 2 Phoenix, 2 Dallas, 1 Oklahoma City, 1 Utah, 1 Boston, 1 Minnesota, 1 San Antonio, 2 unknowns.
Those unknowns could come into.
The 2 unknowns should be bad teams because they will be bad teams because the Grizzlies' record in their tournament games are going to be bad, so they'll play 2 bad teams.
But they've already lost 2 bad teams. Utah twice, Portland they split. Do you see 7 there?
I mean, if they don't, they better win the San Antonio. If they don't win the San Antonio, I mean, we'll see with Houston. I don't know what to make of Houston and the way they're playing right now.
I like what DeMichael said.
They're not going to win all 3 against Houston.
No.
But the rest, I mean, Utah owns them.
Right.
Utah does like
bad matchup.
So Oklahoma City, Dallas, Phoenix, Boston, Minnesota.
Maybe they split the Dallas games.
You would say they're probably not going to win any of those.
Right. Maybe they'll split Dallas.
And especially if Smart. And see, I think he was talking more about the disabled player. I think with the hardship exception, you get to go over your roster limit. And it's 4 guys have to be out. But if Smart is out, they would qualify because of Adams, Clark, Rose, and Smart. But it wouldn't be till after Smart missed his 3rd game that they could add that player.
But who would they bring in? Shaq Harrison? Because he was in camp?
A person with
legs,
pulse,
arms.
Like right now, who's it? What's your guard? What are you doing at the guard position?
Hey, they got a couple of players on the roster right now. I question whether they have a pulse or not. So, yeah, you're right. You have to have bodies. I mean, who would have ever thought before the season started Jacob Gilliard would be starting games,
and especially
let alone playing?
Especially that's not even counting and
he's good.
If this is a lingering thing with Kennard and he has to miss games in there,
right?
Like you're talking about Gilliard, Zaire, obviously Bain, but Zaire, Roddy, Laravia, like Conchar, like
it's murderer's row, my friend.
I don't even know what you're doing at that point, but getting 7 wins out of those 14 is going to be extremely difficult, even if you have Marcus Smart.
Memphis is a city known for its food, known for its hot wings. There's a lot of terrific places out there that serve them up. But if you have not tried the Crazy Coop, you have not tried the best. And what are you waiting for here? The Crazy Coop has the best hot wings in town because of the flavors, the seasonings that they use. 27 different seasonings to awaken your taste buds. Like the Buffalo Ranch, a perfect combo of ranch seasoning with a little kick to it. The Mango Habanero, the sweet taste of mango, followed by the heat of the sweet maple bourbon. The taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. That's just 3 of the amazing 27 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop. They're located at 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby-Whitten. That's in Bartlett. Or the Crazy Coop Express, 33, make that 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. That's 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. It's near Five Guys Burgers, not far from where we're at here at the Family Leisure Studios. The Crazy Coop, you can have them cater your event. Anything that's coming up in your world, just ask them about their catering services, whether it be the whole wings, the party wings, the boneless wings, those delicious chicken tenders. These are huge, really juicy chicken tenders. You can get the full menu at the Bartlett location. That includes delicious hamburgers and catfish sandwiches and all the great sides, including the fried okra, the green tomatoes, the fried dill pickles. You can order online and pick up, where you can have any of the services delivered to your home or office. Again, they will cater your event. Find them on Instagram and Facebook. They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. Ask about their crazy packs as well. You've tried the rest. Now try the best. The Crazy Coop, 7199 Highway 64 between Appling and Kirby-Whitten, and the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar.
I do have 3 seasons where the Grizzlies did not win a November home game.
Oh, you do? You found that out? Okay, we'll talk about that.
And a former Tiger has bought some tickets for Saturday's game to give away to folks.
Very nice. Plus, we got 5 favorite things. It's all coming up when we come back. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Here at Memphis Barbecue Supply, we have everything you need for your Thanksgiving feast. If you're smoking, deep frying, or putting that turkey in the oven, we got over 20 different turkey injections and brines to keep your meat juicy and moist, with brine bags and buckets, and 308 different rubs and sauces to choose from. If you're in need of fuel, Memphis Barbecue Supply carries 9 different types of wood chip, chunk, mini logs, and logs of wood, and over 4 tons of wood pellets in stock. And don't worry, we also carry thermometers, injectors, and all other sorts of gadgets that you might need to simplify your cook. And for any questions that you might have, our knowledgeable staff is always eager to help. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbqsupply.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
In the NBA, the game can change in an instant, but no matter how the action unfolds, you know DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for just betting $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Code is HERD, H-E-R-D always. New customers, $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code HERD. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In West Virginia, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, must be 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Hey, this is Travis Kelce, NFL tight end and proud member of the Lowe's home team. Lowe's knows when you've got the best price, you've already won. That's why we offer the lowest price guarantee. If you find a better price online or in-store, we'll match it. Now you can score on the top brands from the Lowe's home team picks, like Scotts, LG, and DeWalt. So take on your projects with confidence. Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retail partner of the NFL.
Price match applies to same item, current price of qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
The Black Friday sales event is on, and you better run, not walk, to Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. Plus, Gossett's got no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days, no payments. Take your pick, 2023 Dodge Charger SXT or 2023 Dodge Challenger SXT, $6,000 off MSRP. Or check out 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn, seat 6, 6,750 pounds towing capacity. We Gossett at $11,000 off. And if we don't have what you're looking for, Gossett can order it today. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett on the Pike or shop online at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motorcars.
Charger PH 50 8657 MSRP 35960. Challenger PH 596577 MSRP 36345. Ram PN 523262 MSRP 55755. Financing and deferred monthly to well-qualified buyers through Chrysler Capital or Stellantis Financial Services. Take retail delivery by 11/30/23. Includes all rebates and incentives. 695 PF. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/23 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Witness the power.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Acura Memphis is on Ridgeway right there at the intersection of 385. Online, AcuraMemphis.com. Great cars, great people, great experience. That's what it's about every single time. Whether you're looking for a new car or pre-owned vehicle, maybe you just need service on a vehicle, go see the folks at Acura Memphis, and they will be sure to take good care of you and your automobile as well. Go online. You can get all the information about all the different models of Acura, plus the inventory of pre-owned vehicles, including those certified pre-owned Acuras that you'll find at Acura Memphis. All right, so the 98-99 Grizzlies in Vancouver, the 2011-12 Grizzlies in Memphis, and the 2020-21 Grizzlies here in Memphis, none of those teams won a November home game. They didn't win a single game in November.
Well, they didn't play in 2021. So what happened?
No, they didn't play in November in any of those seasons.
Okay.
The
So you were just
2021
joshing, man.
was coming out of the COVID, and then the 98, 99, and 11, 12 seasons were strike-shortened seasons, or lockout, whatever they were. But so they did not play any November games in any of those years.
So as far as we know, they have 4 more shots at a home win in November. They have not yet won in November at home. And if that happens, that means they will make a little history.
Well, I didn't look at the other seasons.
No, but I was going with what DeMichael said. I don't know if he looked at every year as well, so he'd have to double check that. But again, that could happen.
And I mentioned this. This is from former Tiger, the kicker for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jake Elliott.
What's up, Memphis fans? This is Jake Elliott, Memphis alum and current Philadelphia Eagle. We got a huge game against SMU coming up on Saturday, so I've gone ahead and purchased 2,500 tickets for you guys that you can start claiming right now because I know how much of a difference you guys make when you're in the stands. So let's fill that place up, be loud, and go Tigers go.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you can go to GoTigersGo.com. You can claim up to 4 tickets, I guess, while supplies last. In the video he is standing in front of his jerseys he's got hanging on the wall of Riley Patterson, Antonio Gibson, Anthony Miller, and Jannard Avery.
Well, also, he's wearing his Cotton Bowl hoodie.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, he's got the Cotton Bowl, yeah. So, but there you go, 2,500 tickets that Jake Elliott has bought. You can go to GoTigersGo.com to claim those tickets. You could claim up to 4 for Saturday's game.
I'm betting next week, if I'm looking at the schedule correctly, they play Monday night, they play the Chiefs. And then they're home on Sunday, the 26th, against the Bills. He'll probably be there on Friday, next Friday, a week from this Friday, for the Tigers game against Temple. He was there a couple of years ago when we were up in Philadelphia, and I interviewed him on the sideline during the broadcast. I guarantee he'll be up there again. He is a huge supporter of the Memphis Tigers. Good on Jake Elliott. Take advantage of those freebies for Saturday's huge game. By the way, Ryan Silverfield joins us tomorrow, Tigers football coach, at 8:05. We'll have the Tiger Football Report as we break down everything you need to know for the Tigers and SMU. Right now, though, it's time for 5 favorite things.
I'm Bob. I like a number that's easy to count to. That's why I really appreciate the number 5. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there you are at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 on it. 5. Now you may notice that if you multiply 5 by an even number, your product will end in 0. And if you multiply 5 by an odd number, your product will end in 5.
5 favorite things.
5 favorite things. We do it each and every Wednesday. We give you the topic on Tuesday, and then we will read your list today. If you'd like to participate, you still have time. 901-360-8255. Text in. That's our Sports 56 listener lines, but you can text in your 5 at 901-360-8255 or send it via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it to our website, sportsmemphis.com. Again, the topic, your 5 favorite college or pro athletes born in the Memphis metropolitan area. Let's go Zach first, then Eli, then myself, and then we'll get to our listeners. You ready to do this thing, Zach?
I am ready as soon as I go. So my iPad won't act up on me. But yeah, I am ready.
Okay.
All right, so no honorable mention with this list. Number 5, Jarnell Stokes.
Love Jarnell,
4,
friend of the show.
Austin Riley.
Okay.
Number 3, Joe Jackson. Number 2, Penny Hardaway. And number 1, D'Angelo Williams.
Okay. D'Angelo, we're stretching it a little bit to win, but I think that's fine.
Okay. We are counting D'Angelo?
We are?
Well, you just said
you used him.
I used him, but I didn't think. I thought Wynn was pretty close to Memphis.
It wouldn't be considered metropolitan, but it's not like it's its own market. So I'll give you D'Angelo. Cool. I didn't put him. Look, I love D'Angelo. He's a great friend and all that. I didn't put him on there. It was so obvious, but yeah, I'm going to let everybody have. If they want D'Angelo on their list, that's fine.
Okay.
Eli,
okay. That would have.
Does that change things for you?
Well, I won't change. I'll leave it as it is. But if I'd have known we were counting we in Arkansas, I probably would have used. I would have used.
I should have asked what's the circumference miles?
Well, it's a little far, and I shouldn't. I'm usually the bad guy, right, of this panel. I'm usually the mean person, but I'm going to be a little bit lenient with it. But for me, when I put my 5 together, I kept it really, really tight to Memphis.
Yeah.
So I didn't include him. All
right. Number 5, Cedric Wilson Jr., because he played for the Cowboys.
There you go.
Number 4, Austin Riley. Number 3, Elliott Perry. Gotta love VP. Number 2, Penny Hardaway. And number 1, because he's a current Cowboy, Tony Pollard.
Okay, so a lot of people will put their 5 together and they'll put like 5 favorite, but it's really the 5 best players or best athletes in their mind. I'm trying to do this where there's connections. Because there's so many great athletes that have come out of this area. We had Richard Mulrooney on the show earlier, a Memphian who was an unbelievable soccer player, played in the MLS, was the number 3 pick in his draft in the MLS. But my 5 starts with an honorable mention. And I got a chance to be on the road with him in his final season as the University of Memphis coach. Of course, the former great player has a statue in front of the Laurie Walton Center. That's Larry Finch, my honorable mention. Number 5, EP, Elliott Perry, just a great, great person. Number 4, I love her. Rochelle Stevens is number 4 for me. Number 3, Tim McCarver. And what made me put Tim McCarver on the list, not only was he a great player, I wasn't around when Tim was playing, but when we got a chance at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl Golf Classic, Eli, to sit down and have Tim on our show. And then afterwards, he said that was one of his favorite interviews he ever did, and thanked Harold Grader for us having him on there. I just that hit me right in the heart. So Tim McCarver, the late Tim McCarver, number 3. Number 2, Anthony Miller, who I absolutely adore.
Wasn't born in Memphis.
Anthony Miller was not born in Memphis?
Not according to his Wikipedia page. He was born in Pasadena, California.
Oh, gosh. I thought it said he was born in Memphis. I will correct that one. I will put another one in his place. Number 1 is Penny Hardaway. So number 2, I'm going to go with Cedric Henderson. Cedric Henderson, one of my favorites. I'll have to check, make sure he was born there. Wow, I thought Anthony Miller was born in Memphis.
I thought I said it. I thought I saw something that he was not, but I don't. Let me double check here.
Okay. And I will look up
No, he was born in Memphis. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Miller was born in Memphis.
All right. I thought I had looked it up
There was
yesterday.
somebody I looked up that was not born, that I thought was born in Memphis, and I was thinking it was Miller, but there was somebody I thought was born in Memphis. I looked it up, and they actually weren't born here. They were like from here, but they were born elsewhere. I don't remember who the heck that was.
All right. So Anthony Miller's number 2. Penny's number 1. Sorry, Sid, you get the bump, but I love you anyway. That's Daddy that played with, of course, the great Lorenzen Wright, another great Memphian. All right. That's our lists. Now we're going to get to your lists here. I'll start it off. I got an email from James. Number 5, Jerry Lawler. For some reason, I thought the King was born in Cleveland. He has this connection to Cleveland. I've been to his house, and he loves the Browns. But no, he was born in Memphis. Number 4, D'Angelo Williams. Again, we're going to give you the stretch to win. Number 3, Keith Lee. Number 2, Larry Finch. And number 1, Penny Hardaway. That comes from James.
John has number 5, Clay Milliken. Number 4, Sid Vicious. Number 3, Sammy Swindell from Outlaw Racing.
Yes, I remember Sammy. Yeah.
Number 2, Tim McCarver. Number 1, Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Yep, Olive Branch.
The only thing really holding back Tim McCarver is the fact that he was a Cardinal. Otherwise, I might consider
it was such a fun interview we did with him. I loved it.
He was a great interview. It was fun. He just happened to be a Cardinal. Therefore, can't make my list. Let's see here. What is going on?
Here, I got a few while you get that straightened out. This is from our buddy John Neal, Courage Through Cancer. Again, John never puts the numbers, so I'm not sure if it's 1 through 5, 5 through 1, but I'm going to guess that number 5 is Andre Turner, the little general. Number 4, Tim McCarver. Number 3, Elliot Perry. Number 2, Anthony Hardaway. Number 1, Larry Finch. This is from Andrew. Number 5, Tim McCarver. Number 4, Matt Cain, the former San Francisco Giants pitcher. Elliot Williams, number 3. Penny Hardaway, number 2. And number 1 says Charlie Bryant, who played in the NFL, current Bartlett PD member. What's PD? Police department, right? Yeah. And then I got one from Bo. And again, not sure if it's 5 through 1 or 1 through 5. Eric Harris, played in the NFL, played with the Tigers, I believe. Larry Finch, Tim McCarver, John Gunn, and John Bull Bramlett. Was Bull born in Memphis?
I don't know.
I know he spent much of his time here. I think he was, but I'll look it up again.
On Twitter, Pastafarian has Tony Pollard, Cedric Wilson Jr., Don Terry Poe, Mike Hegman, and Tim McCarver.
I don't know who Mike Hegman is.
I do not know who Mike Hegman is either. If I could ever get this computer to work, I'll give you these other lists. Here's one. William Bedford, Vincent Askew, Holmes. I said that's Baskerville Holmes.
Baskerville Holmes.
Andre Turner and Keith Lee.
Tiger basketball list right there. Yeah, I can't get mine to work either here with the internet. You still got them? Can you pull them up?
I could not get this other list.
Good time for the internet to go on the fritz here. Why don't we, when we take our final break, come back and do the rest of the lists?
All right.
Can we do that?
I guess you're going to have to do that.
Okay.
If it possibly works at that point in time. We shall see.
Tell us about one of our great sponsors.
Fleet Feet, the place to go to get all your running gear. You want to go by and see the folks at Fleet Feet at either one of the two locations, as they will take a look at the way you run or walk, and then they will fit you with shoes that are just right for you as you're out there running or walking or just for everyday use, especially if you're on your feet a lot. You want to make sure you got proper shoes just right for you, and that's exactly what they'll do at Fleet Feet. They're in the Laurelwood Shopping Center in East Memphis. They're out in Collierville, Poplar and Houston Levy, next door to the Hueys there. The two places that you can find the folks at Fleet Feet. You can also find them online at fleetfeetmemphis.com and on social media, where they'll keep you up to date with things they've got going on, things you can get involved with, like their group runs and other things like the races they sponsor, all from the folks at Fleet Feet.
All right, fingers crossed. We'll get back to your list when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Get the home field advantage every time with Fairfield by Marriott, the official hotel of the NCAA. Whether you're a student athlete working towards your championship dreams or your team's biggest fan, Fairfield by Marriott has everything you need to get ready for game day, from comfortable guest rooms to a complimentary hot breakfast. Visit fairfield.marriott.com to book your next game day stay. Fairfield by Marriott, part of the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio of hotels, an official hotel of the NCAA.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place, the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee. Must finance through Hyundai. Forte LXS PE 694,095, MSRP 21,610. Sportage R722, 7239, MSRP 28,715. EVP 560, 3393, MSRP 50,200. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit dealer stock only. Got Jeff Allen here from Gossett Kia, South Mount Moriah. Hey, Jeff, you ready for the holidays with the season of giving back?
I'm ready to give out some great holiday gifts and save you some big bucks. Perfect for the holiday road trips. 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month. $27.99 due at signing. Or a big family that needs more room? 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat leg room, $299 a month. $34.99 due at signing.
What about an EV?
2023 Kia EV6 Wind, 134 City, 101 Highway, MPGE, $379 a month. $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
The way they live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Okay, this car looked great wrapped around you,
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
All right, I'm having trouble with the Wi-Fi, but I did get a text from our buddy John Varlas, who joins us on Fridays, and he has said, Matt Cain doesn't count. And I was going to double check on this, but I couldn't with the Wi-Fi down. Born in Alabama, moved here in his early teens, so you cannot get credit for Matt Cain. They had to be born here. And he said Mike Hegman played linebacker for your Cowboys in the 70s.
I got a text from somebody that, he was 70s. Or I thought the name kind of sounded familiar, but I remember him. He was in the 80s with the Cowboys, and the name kind of sounded familiar, but it just did not click with me at all who he actually was. But I do remember him being with the Cowboys when I was a kid.
Yeah, it just didn't ring a bell. Mike Hegman spelled differently than Larry Hagman, but I remember him from I Dream of Jeannie and from Dallas.
Did anyone had Zach Cozart on their list?
We don't know. We can't get any of the list.
We can't get any more of the list.
Oh, we can't get any.
No, and
I can see.
do you have the internet?
Yeah, I'm good over here.
All right, well, give us the list that are on there.
Yeah, give us some lists.
Give me Tennessee Tom's list and anything above it.
And double check, by the way, if you're listening, John Varlas, double check that Bull Bramlett was born in Memphis.
So Tennessee Tom, his honorable mention goes to Jerry Lawler.
Okay.
Number 5, Tamika Catchings.
She was born in Memphis?
Ric Flair.
Okay.
Number 3, Cedric Wilson. I guess that's senior. Number 2, Elliot Perry. And then number 1, John Bull Bramlett.
Okay, so Bull had to be born in Memphis. That's the second list. Okay, thank you.
Randy from Midtown went with number 5, Keith Lee. Number 4, Bedford. I guess
William Bedford, right?
Number 3, Elliot Perry. Number 2, Andre Turner. Number 1, Austin Riley.
Okay, from born in Memphis, played at DeSoto Central High School. Any more? I can't pull up any of them, unfortunately. So,
is that it on there?
Is that it as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, the one that was Tennessee Tom and above.
All right. I think I got to the other ones that were below Tennessee Tom, if I remember correctly.
All right. So thank you, and sorry for those we weren't able to read because the Wi-Fi has gone down for some reason. Again, tomorrow, Ryan Silverfield joins us at 8:05. We'll have the Tiger Football Report right after Ryan. We'll break down the Tigers and the SMU Mustangs. Huge game on Saturday, 11 o'clock. And if you missed it, we ran the clip. Jake Elliott, the Philadelphia Eagles kicker, former Memphis Tigers kicker, has purchased 2,500 tickets for you to go to the game free of charge.
Yep. Again, gotigersgo.com. You can go there. They are allowing you, I think, to claim up to 4 tickets while supplies last. So you can go to the website and take advantage of Jake's generosity.
Well, I'm glad John Varlas is listening and double-checking everything. He said Tamika Catchings was born in New Jersey. People just making stuff up is what Varlas says. Yes, you have to be born in the Memphis metropolitan area. So we can't accept Kane. We can't accept Catchings, assuming again.
I'm just going to guess it was people that probably didn't want to do the research.
Just, if you think of a person, just look it up. I almost went, now, I wasn't around here in Memphis when he started, I guess, boxing, but was Kennedy McKinney, does anybody know if he was born in Memphis, went on to be an Olympic boxer and then a professional boxer? I thought about him, but again, no connection to me. And it's your 5 favorite, not the 5 best or the most successful that you believe.
Folks, Genesis Diamonds, the holiday season is fast approaching. And if you are thinking about popping the question, getting somebody an engagement ring for the holidays or any fine jewelry, any kind of jewelry, does any price range out there, whatever it is you're thinking about, go see the folks at Genesis Diamonds because the selection out of this world, the prices absolutely out of this world, and you're dealing with salespeople in there that are not working on commission. They're not there to try and pressure you into buying something more expensive. They're there to educate you and help you become a smarter jewelry buyer. They'll tell you what you're looking for, what you should be looking for, what affects prices, all of that stuff. And again, there's something for every price range out there at Genesis Diamonds, and they are fully stocked. Massive selection of one-of-a-kind designer jewelry, colored gemstone jewelry, case after case of rings and earrings and pendants and bands and bracelets. They've got the luxury pre-owned Rolex watches as well, all at Genesis Diamonds, Poplar Common Shopping Center, Poplar and Perkins Extended. Go by and see them for your holiday shopping and get started early. What the heck? Why not get it done early over at Genesis Diamonds?
If you missed it from earlier today, the news came down that Deshaun Watson is out for the season for the Cleveland Browns. According to Pro Football Talk, he reportedly wanted to be shot up and play through his shoulder and ankle injuries against the Ravens, which he did. But now the shoulder injury takes him out of the season. Interesting that you look at what Cleveland has gotten out of Deshaun Watson so far, which is not much. They gave up 3 first-round picks, a third-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and are spending boo-hoo bucks on him. His cap number increases to $63.97 million next year. And when he finally comes through, leads his team to a W, plays through pain, he gets hurt and is lost for the year. It's just, for whatever reason, not working out in Cleveland with Deshaun Watson. So right now they have a rookie quarterback backing up P.J. Walker, but it does appear that they will add a third quarterback to the roster. And this is a Cleveland team, again, with their defense that is in most of the games that they play and are still right there in the thick of things in that AFC North, which is a battle between 4 teams, basically. So they're all going at it. Again, if you missed any of our interviews, you can go back and check out our podcast, the Sports 56 Mornings podcast. We break it down hourly. That's on our website, sportsmemphis.com. Earlier today, we talked with Memphis Tigers assistant basketball coach Andy Borman and Richard Mulrooney, the University of Memphis men's soccer coach. The Memphis men will play their first-round NCAA tournament game tomorrow night at home, 7 o'clock, against, some team from, what are they called again? They're from your home state. Little Edwardsville action, something like that.
The Cougars, baby.
The Cougars, who are undefeated at 16-0-3 SIUE and the University of Memphis. That'll do it for us today. Want to thank Richard Mulrooney, Andy Borman, of course, Jerry Palm, and DeMichael Cole for joining us on the program. We're back tomorrow bright and early, starting at 7 a.m. Again, among our guests, Ryan Silverfield, Memphis Tigers head football coach. He'll join us at 8:05. Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli and Zach, I'm Greg. Enjoy your hump day, everybody.